97.3.
Me kafu mawu miamagbato planu katan akpo miadi enagbami evamianu eye o honami akpo miadane elonami unto mau akpenao cho aseye na mau cho aseye na mau. Oh yes. Me that Benamao, give thanks to the Lord. All living creatures, all you living things and all living beings. That one. He has watched over you. He has protected you. And Nagbami, He has given you life. He has had mercy on you. And He has saved you. Ye Ohonami. We'll give Him thanks. We'll give Him thanks for 68 years of a land of our birth, of a country we call home. We'll give Him thanks always for gifts like Ken Kafui and beautiful offerings like this very song that reminds us to give glory to God at all times and to count our many blessings and look forward to giving of our very best to make where we find ourselves better. Welcome to your favorite dial, 97.3 Citi FM, Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Caleb Kuda. It's an interactive show and we love to wake up looking up to God, remembering all that He has done for us as individuals, as families, as communities, as a nation. And we'd like to express our gratitude to God for life, for health, for bread, for butter, for breath. And we'd like to look around us and see where He has placed us and consider what we can do better. We'd like to look within, consider all the giftings and talents He's given us, and then put our shoulders to the wheel. How to use what's within us to make what's around us better. And that's always been the call to duty. Nation building. It requires active citizens and selfless leaders. So we are here to play our part as once again, as you always do. You will join us, do that. We'll bring light where there is darkness, clarity where there is confusion, warmth where there is cold, truth where there are lies. Join us, do this as always. 0549986996. So much to do on the show today. The Heritage Caravan is moving down south. Having done about 10 regions and more, we're hitting the western region now, my goodness, where they'll be spending 2 nights at the Plashma Beach Resort. We'll be bringing you updates. I say, what's happening? Yeah, call western region. Yo, Azuye. As the Heritage Month, will bring you our on-air series. I'm looking forward to the food festival, my goodness. The on-air series are blazing, so much knowledge, so much insights, and the Heritage Caravan is going on. We do this better, and we are happy to lead the way. Join us. Let's celebrate the month of our birth. We're bringing you the news review shortly, brought to you by Fidelity Bank, Total Excellium, and Piva Beverages. From the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are or wherever you are on your journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning your future, we're here for your journey. Every goal deserves the chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within reach. So trust in the journey, understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. We're here for your journey. Believe with us. Now, have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Tell you more about it. Premium fuel, amazing 3-in-1 power. Introducing Excellium new formula, additive and rich fuel, powerful 3-in-1 action, cleans your engine, extends its life, lowers your fuel consumption, anti-corrosion, anti-wear, detergent additives. Excellium new formula lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. You will drive, sir. Experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. Oh, by the way, that particular rendition you're hearing is by Gramophone. Now, if you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. My goodness, enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. Piva orange fruit drink, packed with recognized citrus flavor. Piva cocktail fruit drink. It brings the tropics to you. And for a sweet and juicy treat, grab your grapefruit drink. We have the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink as well. Best in with tangerine flavor. It will get you singing that Panama. Ow, your whole mouth. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Let's dance together. Nyatra say na your whole. 0550032231 is the number to call for Piva, and they're available in a local store near you. Piva Beverages is a taste you will love. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Nyatra say it in a mouth.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink. And don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangy fruit drink, bursting with tangy flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-32231. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, the go. Ah, go me. And what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
The go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning, and you know the money calling. Oh, you go work. But you know it's out in your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out in your side. And when you dream, no say I did for you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna go, anything you do, I did for you. If I believe I did your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I did your side, fidelity.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
So John Dako Lido do Get on the beat. High life time.
Get on the beat. Music time.
I love it. I love it. It's a great tune to get into the newspaper review. Good morning, Bernard.
Morning, Caleb.
How's your Friday?
It's looking good already.
Nice one. I love
Looking
it.
forward to the day.
Fantastic.
Lots of interesting headlines this morning. Daily Graphic.
Yeah.
68th Independence Anniversary. President unveils vision for self-reliance. Is photographed lighting the perpetual flame.
Yeah.
There's also public laud cost cutting on Independence Day. On the back page, HSME selected for GEF $7 million grant to boost plastic recycling.
Nice.
Meanwhile, the Ghanaian Times also leads with the Independence Anniversary. So while the graphics photo shows President Mahama on the left side,
Yeah.
the Ghanaian Times shows him on the
On the
right
right.
side.
Okay.
It's the same photo, essentially, but from two different angles.
Right.
Posterity will not accept our failures. This is President Mahama. The real story is on page 12. Other stories: fire kills girl, displaces 40 others in Bolgatanga. Also, alleviate suffering of commuters on Ofankon Sawam Road. Minister charges contractor. And Gaming Commission seeks media support to clamp down on illegal and underage gambling. Meanwhile, on the back page of the same paper, 68th Independence Anniversary characterized by low-key celebrations in the regions.
Okay.
The Daily Guide chooses to focus on Nana Kufuor storm.
Okay.
In this day, Nana is photographed in a white top, red, gold, green stripe. Very nice indeed.
Yeah.
Kufuor with his blue top, with his hat and his Ghana flag. Odumase fire explosion kills 3. A very good photo, aerial view of the explosion site. GES backtracks on non-payroll staff sacking. That's on page 6 of the Daily Guide.
So the news center now.
They're leading with economic rights of sacked workers violated. Apenyumakin cites articles in the Constitution breached by the dismissals. Also, Akufo-Addo Kufuor joined Mahama at 68th Independence celebration. President Mahama calls for reflection on post-independence journey. Pokua Adade Prempe champions mental well-being, and Mahama appointees with ministerial status exceed 100. This is Jinapo.
Herald newspaper.
Lots of stories. Governor Isiama runs from Ernest Addison skeletons in $261 million BOD headquarters. Also, Gensa GMPC controversy erupts in Mahama's government. Officials pushing to ratify gas deal without investigation. Meanwhile, Mahama Defense Cost Saving Independence Day budget. Akufo-Addo attends celebration without iconic chair. And MPA inaugurates audit committee to strengthen accountability. Meanwhile, ex-minister's company sits on minerals funds millions of dollars as concerns grow over forensic audits.
So now the Chronicles.
They are leading with Mahama's lean government claim a hoax. Abu Jinapo criticizes the government. Also, Apenyumakin fights for dismissed Ghanaian workers. And then Razak Kojo Opoku. Now he has a PhD.
Doctor, yes.
Gold board is a very serious error in judgment.
Oh, okay.
The informer, Boku needs peace, Mahama to factions.
Yeah.
Also, transfer of government projects. CDD urges politicians to follow due process. Gambia Jospon Group partner to tackle waste challenges in African way.
Right.
And Vice President honors Rawlings for promoting academic excellence. She's photographed here on the front page.
Okay.
The two publishers, the New and the Ghanaian,
Charlie.
all lead with Apenyumakin.
Okay.
Stop Mahama's lawless conduct now. This is on the dismissal of workers. And they also have Abu Jinapo's presidency story. 100 ministers, quote unquote, on payroll.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Eastern Region GJA fights closure of Eseweni Radio. And then there's an interesting editorial in the New publisher. We have spoilt our children. Yeah, the Daily Analyst Mahama announces $10 billion big push plan to transform Ghana.
Right.
This is from Independence Celebration. Also, Ghana saves 19 million cedis at the Independence Day at Jubilee House.
Right.
Other stories: court orders substituted service on Amewu. And it's time for lasting peace to prevail. Mahama appeals to Boku.
Okay.
The Inquisitor distraction
newspaper.
work in MPP. Nanado fingered as he seeks to control affairs. Also, March 6 celebration cost slash from 15 million to 1.5 million.
Okay.
National Economic Dialogue concerns will be featured in the next budget. Kasiolatu Forsen. And then COSA Fault NDC's research agenda. Finally,
BNFT.
experts urge action as economy loses billions to tax gift evasion or gift tax evasion. MTN and government agree to work together to extend AI coding and digital skills.
Right.
Charlie Samojata is looking all presidential.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah, man.
He's photographed with the CEO of MTN. You know, he's giving the camera angle.
Yeah, man.
On an
In his double best suit.
and the suit with hey, Charlie power suite.
Wow.
Meanwhile, GCB Bank puts record profit, gross total asset by 58% in 2024. And then inflation rate eases to 23.1% in February.
Right. I bring you to channel1news.com now. Agboja, Ibrahim Mahama, others support victims of tidal waves in Ketu South. Then you have Mahama orders funding for Blekusu Sea Defense Project Phase 2. Heritage Caravan explores Ghana's military history at Armed Forces Museum in Kumasi. We'll bring you details from the Caravanites later. Shamima Muslim is here. Bokum has prioritized peace for growth, she says. Utu Senya is J River residents urge government to fast-track completion of Agenda 111. Ama Kofibua urges Ghanaians to uphold core national values, participate in constitutional review process. Mahama to Ghanaians. And on the Odumase explosion, it's claimed 2 more lives, we are told. And breaking aid dependency requires action, not rhetoric. This is John Mahama. And he also says posterity will not forgive us if we fail. Ghana needs to be strategic as an aid recipient. This is Nimoy Thompson. He's also advocating for government offices to be rid of
television
TV sets. They reduce productivity, he says. And if you go to channel citynewsroom.com, Professor Gachi is speaking. Building financial buffers can end IMF dependency. Tidal waves resettlement site in flood zone not fit for purpose. Mahama says invest in agriculture to reduce $2 billion food import bill. PFAG and they are demanding government prioritize economic prudence in independence celebration. Shamima Muslim here speaking. Baumia calls for unity as Ghana marks 68th Independence Day. We are told that Ashanti Regional Minister has donated 50,000 cedis each to
5,000 cedis each.
5,000 cedis each to Odumase explosion victims. Major Online, Ghana won't sink any further. Investors must stay. Ishmael Yamson is speaking. It's time to reset Ghana and private sector must lead the way. Ishmael Yamson again. Mahama has done very well in his honeymoon period. Professor Adai says Mahama directs Finance Minister to fund Blekusu Sea Defense Phase 2. GS declares Friday 7th March holiday for all school children.
It's actually public schools because I know some private schools there.
They are back to school already. And some people are saying, Charlie, we all observe the match, so why only the school children? I say, my friend, keep quiet and so far. 68th Independence Day, Mahama calls for unity, peace among Ghanaians.
All right.
And then if you go to Class FM, I'm operating from the new BOG office. This is older. And let me take you online. Elsewhere, if you go to Bloomberg, China blasts Trump's two-faced acts, calls U.S. tariffs evil. Yes, and then Europe's defenses risk faltering within weeks without U.S. support. If you go to BBC, very, very quickly, then we have this one. Zelensky hopes U.S.-Ukraine talks next week will be meaningful. The traitor at the heart of South Korea's impeachment drama. That's a feature here. France has a nuclear umbrella. Could it be Europeans ally fit under it? Is a big question here. CNN, Canadians are fighting back against Trump's tariffs. Bernard, we'll go into the details of the papers. Where do we start from?
I think most people who've been listening to the news would know already what happened. So what I'll do is just look at the angles. So the graphic, for example, focused on the president's vision. All right, so 68th Independence Anniversary, President unveils vision for self-reliance. So that's the angle they chose. And then in their middle spread, they emphasize the modesty of the celebration with a nice group of photographs of the president exchanging pleasantries with the government chair, with the Council of State, and with clergy. Then on page 13, they talk about the public lauding the cost cutting on Independence Day, where citizens express varied opinions on government decision to cut costs. All right. Now, the Ghanaian Times did the same in terms of the lead story, where the president is focusing on the need for this generation to succeed, and that if we failed, the posterity will not forgive us. But what they did that I liked was on the back page, they then did a regional overview. Okay. So, for example, they did Volta Regional Coordinating Council, where they did a cleanup exercise at Ho Airport. Nice. And then the Ghanaian Municipality, they focused on Dominic Kwabenya, Faustina Krugu, joint teachers and students celebrate the Independence Day. And then they also spoke about Iamote reporting from Ashaiman that several schools where there was basically the Ashaiman Assembly marked this. So what happened was that a lot of the assemblies marked this. Right. So they did a wrap of the Greater Accra region. This is what the Times did. Now, what the Daily Guide angled was Nana Akufo-Addo and President Kufuor, two
Storming
former
the
presidents.
Jubilee House, right.
So I'll just give you two quick angles there.
Okay.
Former presidents John Ajekum Kufuor and Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo were among the notable figures who graced the country's 68th Independence Day celebration held in Accra. And then they come to the president's address and then the issue of cost cutting as well. So generally speaking,
That's a good summary.
that's the
of
summary
the whole thing.
of the coverage.
Yeah.
I think most papers got the right angles.
And Dr. Baumia is also speaking on citynewsroom.com. He's calling for unity as Ghana marks our 68th Independence Day. Story says that as Ghana celebrates its 68th Independence Day, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has urged citizens to embrace peace, unity, and economic progress for a stronger and more prosperous nation. So he expressed these thoughts and made these calls on his Facebook page.
Now, the next one I'll bring is the Education Ministry, page 20 of the graphic, and I think a few other papers have this. It says GES to validate appointments of sacked staff.
Yeah.
And Emmanuel Boni reports that the management of Ghana Education Service has set up a 3-member committee at the regional level to validate teachers whose appointments were revoked last month. The committee, made up of regional human resource officers, regional interim auditor, and regional accountant, is to validate the process. Affected staff are therefore directed to provide their appointment letters, academic certificates, licensure certificates, and national service certificates to support the validation. Now, they are expected to go through the validation process by March 14. This was contained in a circular which was captioned as I just read and signed by the GS Director, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis. Now, you remember that the GS on February 17 revoked all appointments and recruitments of teaching and non-teaching staff who were yet to be placed on the government payroll. The decision took immediate effect following a directive from the Chief of Staff in a letter dated February 10. A statement signed by the Prof said all regional, district, and municipal and metropolitan directors have been instructed to ensure strict compliance. Meanwhile, the GS has declared today, March 7, a holiday for all school children in Ghana.
Right.
It looks like the school my kids attend has not heard this.
They've not heard
The
that.
decision is to provide learners with well-deserved break after their preparations for participation in the Independence Day activities. So the statement was signed by GSPRO. So that's the education angle this morning.
Interesting. Well, I take you to the environmental impact from the tidal waves thing. Right after the independence, the president and his entourage drove there. Mahama has directed Finance Minister to fund phase 2 of Blekusu Sea Defense Project. He's asked for it to commence to mitigate flooding and the tidal waves. Now, during a visit to Agribusiness in the Volta region, where he assessed the destruction caused by tidal waves, Mahama acknowledged the urgent need for action. Now, hundreds of residents of Salakopa, Amutinu, and Agribusiness have been displaced by recent flooding. Quote, so I'm going to ask the Finance Minister to include funding to start phase 2 of the Blekusu Sea Defense Project, Mahama has stated. On that same story, there is no need for a state of emergency in Ketu South. This is Abuja speaking. And then also there was a resettlement building project that was underway for the affected victims. President Mahama says it's not fit for purpose because it's been put up in a flood zone. But then, so some action is being taken with respect to all this. So that was another major event.
The other story
yesterday.
that the papers are focusing on a lot is the Afenyo-Markin minority leaders fight for dismissed Ghanaian workers. That's the Chronicles angle. So I'll just read a couple of paragraphs here. Max Olofo reports that the move by the MP for a Futu constituency, who doubles as a minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, to fight for dismissed public workers has been botched by Majority Leader Aheriga and First Deputy Speaker Bernard Ahiafo. The minority leader had prepared to make a statement on Wednesday, March 5, in support of the motion for the House to inquire into the dismissal of some public sector workers by the government. The Chronicle has read a copy of the statement in which the minority leader would have argued on the floor that it was an undeniable fact that the public servants whose appointment had been, quote, arbitrarily revoked, unquote, were duly recruited under the previous government. But the statement did not go through, or they did not allow the statement. So that is the angle that about 4 papers have chosen this morning. So the Chronicle has this angle, the Ghanaian publisher, the New Publisher, and the New Center. The New Center's angle is economic rights of Ghanaian workers or government workers violated. The other story is Abu Jinapur's claim that Mohammed's ministerial appointees, quote unquote, exceed 100 because in his view, some of the appointees, though non-ministers, have the same sort of
role and on the same payroll also.
Now that has there's also another angle where the former information minister and the current minister for government Communication
Yeah.
have been reported as having different views on this matter. So Kojo Ponkroma
Yeah.
and Felix Kwachofosu. What I wanted to do quickly though was to give you the Herald. They have so many stories. So for them, the most important story was the BOG story. Remember the
Right.
governor was in Parliament a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So the angle is that Governor Isiama runs away from Ernest Addison skeletons in the 261 million BOG headquarters. Now, we brought you this story a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
but the angle is that the answers given by the new governor suggest that he doesn't necessarily want to endorse.
What has happened?
Yes, and therefore there's some audit, also they call it the value for money analysis that they would let AESL do.
Yeah.
Then there's a very interesting story here on page 8. Gensa GMPC controversy erupts in Mahama's government. 2 paragraphs here just for your quick insight. The Herald has received reports of confusion within the Mahama government concerning attempts to regularize the contentious Gensa Energy and Ghana National Petroleum Corporation gas agreement without conducting any thorough investigation. Sources within Ghana Gas have disclosed to the Herald that the deal, which was negotiated under Akufo-Addo administration, has since sparked controversy and is being eroded by specific figures within the Mahama government, even before a governing board has been constituted. The agreement has been a matter of significant dispute, with claims that the nation is being shortchanged by a private company in collusion with self-serving politicians. However, it appears no corrective action is being considered, and some individuals are pushing to have the deal legitimized. Trust the Herald to leak a story like this.
I tell you now, elbows up, how Canadians are fighting back against Trump's tariffs. Something interesting, replacing Californian tomatoes with Italian tomatoes. Ohio-made pepperoni with meats produced in Ontario and Quebec. Coca-Cola.
Quebec.
Coca-Cola with sparkling water sweetened with Canadian maple syrup.
Where is this story coming from?
Yeah, this is CNN. At the end of January, as U.S. President Donald Trump ramped up threats to annex Canada and rig its economy with tariffs, Graham Palmater, who runs a pizza joint in Toronto's West End, told his customers he would be making some swaps to his fridges and shelves. No more products produced in the United States or by American companies. Now, at one point, I just figured that's enough. I'm going to do this. Palmater, the owner of Graham's Pizza, told CNN. So, some protests happening. People are voting with their economic choices that the products
in
they
reaction
buy.
to the
Yeah.
Now let me just give
tariffs
you.
from-
So the Times covered this story that you brought to us yesterday. I just want to reiterate it. Alleviate suffering of commuters on Ofankon Sawam Road.
Yes.
For those who may not have known this, the Minister
Minister.
for Roads was there. Lawrence Vomafa Akpalu reports that the Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agboja, urged the contractors working on the Ofankon Sawam Road project to show commitment and continue work while efforts are being made to mobilize resources for them. So we now know why the project has stalled. It's not because of the court cases necessarily. It's because of money. Slowing down work entirely for non-honoring of certificates, he stated, was not the best option, and challenged them to increase the pace to alleviate the suffering of the people. He lamented that over 100 million road contracts, 100 million Ghana cedi worth of road contracts were awarded between June and December 2024. Wow. While the actual budget to the sector was only 3 million cedis.
Wow.
Is this serious? 100 million cedis worth of road contracts were awarded between January and June, while the actual budget for the sector was only 3 million. Mr. Agboja made these remarks on his maiden duty tour of some ongoing road projects in the Greater Accra region in order to get first-hand information on the progress of work. Road users there, please let us know if there has been an improvement in the way the road.
Wait, so budget is 100 million.
So the contracts awarded 100 million.
Yes,
but the budget.
contracts 100
But see,
million.
the truth though is that.
So the contractors will raise the money, do the thing, raise it, and then government pays. Or
Okay, so let's be. You don't award road contracts only on the basis of the budget for the ministry,
Yeah.
depending on the funding source.
Yeah.
But it's curious to have 100 million cedis worth
of contracts with 3 million.
So what he should do is to give
Budget.
us the sources of funding for those, whether
Yeah.
this is DOG, whether these were loans,
Yeah.
whether these were. We really don't know.
Yeah.
We need more details now.
But this morning I saw some traffic on the Mahama.
Yeah, so a vehicle has overturned on the Mahama to Gifford Road. I don't know the name of that road. I don't know, called the airport bypass.
Yes.
And it's causing a bit of traffic, even before the main traffic that happens
Wow.
there. So commuters should be minded. And I think there needs to be a movement of the vehicle because it's overturned and it's blocked about 3 feet of the road. So it's causing a lot of traffic.
Okay, thank you for that. That was the news review. Thank you very much. Oh, the traffic is still there, I'm told. We're just getting an update. So the police should please
I
move
think
in
this
and
is Burma
move
Camp.
the car out of
This
the
is,
way.
you know, where there's this aircraft with some bridge on Burma Camp
Yes.
overhead.
Yes.
That's where the vehicle is falling.
No,
so I think
no.
they should go and remove it.
Please do something. Thank you, Bernard. That was the news review.
This is the City Breakfast Show. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Neela Latte joins us with the business news, City Business News, proudly sponsored by EcoBank. EcoBank says, do not get scammed this period. Fraudulent activities are on the increase. Scammers continue to target customers of various banks through phone calls, text messages, and emails to get customers to divulge sensitive information, your password, your PIN, your card information, your OTP, and other personal details. Do not fall for such efforts. They are all scammers and fraudulent activities. Your bank account details can only be updated at an EcoBank branch. EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at the App Store or Play Store. If you want to link your Ghana card to any account, your EcoBank account specifically, it can be done at any EcoBank branch or at www.ecobank.com. When you're in doubt or you feel insecure, call EcoBank Contact Center on 0800 003225. It's a toll-free number. Seven on the dot. Neela Latte, good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm well, Caleb. How about you?
I'm in good spirits. What's in the news?
Well, it's Friday. Welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News here on 97.3 Citi FM. The bulletin is brought to you by MTN, Goil, and EcoBank. I am Neela Latte. This morning, let's begin with the economy because Ghana must prioritize building strong financial buffers to break free from its cycle of repeated IMF bailouts. That's the call by some economists who argue that achieving true economic self-sufficiency 68 years after independence requires prudent fiscal management and strengthened reserves. With nearly 7 decades of self-rule, Ghana still faces economic vulnerabilities that threaten its financial stability. In this report, my colleague Daniel Sakite explores the nation's economic resilience and the path to lasting independence.
68 years after gaining independence, Ghana's economic journey continues to be defined by cycles of crisis and external interventions, raising fresh concerns about the nation's financial sovereignty. The country has turned to the International Monetary Fund 17 times in its history, with the latest bailout, a $3 billion extended credit facility, secured in 2022 following a severe economic downturn. Ghana's dependence on external support, including donor aid, largely stems from persistent fiscal deficits driven by inadequate revenue mobilization and rising debt levels. The current IMF-backed program aims to restore macroeconomic stability and debt sustainability while laying the groundwork for stronger and more inclusive growth. Yet, the fundamental question is how can Ghana break free from its recurring economic cycle? Economist and member of the just-ended National Economic Dialogue Planning Committee, Professor John Gachi, argues that sustained fiscal discipline is key to avoiding repeated crises.
It's not magical for anybody to say that we will not go to the IMF again. What have been leading us to the IMF is the poor management. If we are able to build the correct buffers for all the sectors, I believe we will be solid. We will not be drifting towards the IMF at the least financial distortions or at the least threat that is directed towards the finances of the countries. We will be robust, we will be solid, and then we will be relying on the buffers that we build rather than going to the IMF.
In response to the recent economic challenges, the government convened a national economic dialogue pledging to incorporate its recommendations into the 2025 budget. Professor Lord Mensah stresses that the budget must provide a concrete roadmap for economic recovery.
I believe that with the signal that they have provided, we're going to see a conserved budget, a budget that, expenditures will be moderated. If I should say, very well to the extent of not denying any, essentials, but then also be measured as far as, our expenditure appropriations are concerned.
Professor Lord Mensah is an economist, ending that report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite. Now, despite a decline in U.S. foreign aid, Ghana's economy is expected to, however, experience greater external stability this year, driven by rising foreign reserves. This, according to a report by Fitch Solutions. The country's reserves rebounded in 2024, crossing $8 billion by December, supported by a strong current account surplus, IMF disbursement, and reduced financial outflows. Fitch Solutions projects that reserves will continue to grow, surpassing 2024 levels and providing more than 4 months of import cover by the end of 2025, aided by improved investor confidence and sustained capital inflows. Away from that, and the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is pushing for the prioritization of agriculture to reduce the country's $2 billion annual food import bill. The association argues that Ghana has the capacity to produce these food items locally, but needs greater support in mechanized farming, all year-round agriculture instead of rain-fed systems and subsidies on agricultural inputs. Acting Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Bismarck Norte, has been speaking to Citi Business News on the need for urgent policy interventions to transform the sector.
If you remember last year, the issue of the dry spell and how that affected our production. So if you can have a system where this irrigation for well that the ministry said they are creating, they can develop a system where we are able to harness and harvest the water to ensure all year planting. That's something that will help us. If you're able to ensure that we have access to input at affordable prices. See, currently, one of the major causes of high cost of food is the fact that we are spending so much on production. We are spending so much on the cost of inputs. We are spending so much on the cost of agricultural services. And this is because these things are so high. So if the government can find a mechanism to either subsidize or actually reduce the price of this input, then we can produce at a low cost, and that will translate into what? High productivity. Then we are talking of issue about our equipment. If you go to a lot of farming this way, they have no access to mechanization. So we are still using the hoe and cutlasses, which is not helping. If you are able to invest in agriculture, we are able to invest in smallholder farming, we are able to invest in infrastructure, I'm sure that the kind of money that we spent on importing, the kind of food that we have the capacity to produce, we are one step away of reducing that dependency on our food imports.
Bismarck Norte is the acting executive director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. On the forex market, the dollar is trading at 15 cedis 55 pesos, the British pound at 19 cedis 80 pesos, that of the euro going for 16 cedis 30 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle and EcoBank. I am Ni Latte. Next is the Citi Business edition. Do have a good business day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Cratchy, mommy my rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial *770# for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more. Dial *770#. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
You're too sexy, you're too bad, you're too naughty. Oh, I get to stop, see me to talk so much, but I want you.
It's 9 after 7. Bless, because this one, what? Chocho mucho. Chocho mucho. All right. I like it too. I know you're enjoying it on your way to work. We understand the police have arrived on the airport bypass as well. A vehicle overturned on its head and it's caused a bit of traffic. And the police is dealing with that. So if you're in traffic or you're driving on the stretch, please drive with caution. And thank you, Ghana Police, also. Wishing the victims of that crash, all the best. It doesn't look very good. It's not a crash. The vehicle just overturned, basically. But it doesn't look very good. Now, we'll bring you the Oxfam Tax Dialogue on this morning's edition of the Citi Business Edition. Isaac Danso Ejiri is a lawyer and a tax policy analyst. You'll be engaging with Rosemond Asante, together with Rosemond Asante, who is Vice Chairperson of Society of Women in Taxation. Today we are talking gender and taxation. Gender and taxation. What's the relationship? Are there any, basically, what's the relationship? You'll find out more interesting conversations coming up shortly. But listen to me, next time you fly from Accra, anytime I'm doing this, I'm listening to it, I'm like, did I say fly or fly? Next time you fly from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? In Emirates economy, you can get a taste of your destination on board with complimentary regionally inspired meals. And as you savor each course of delicious gourmet cuisine at 40,000 feet above sea level, you can toast to new adventures with complimentary beverages. Perfect way to start your holiday. And of course, you can expect world-class service along every step of your journey. You get so much more in Emirates economy. Enjoy more convenience and flexibility to over 140 destinations within the Emirates Global Network. Find out more at emirates.com. Sending money to the Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone has never been this easy, convenient, and exciting. Through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS, you can send and receive money from any of these countries. All you need to do is to visit any First Bank Ghana branch nationwide. With your cash and your money is transferred in no time. To receive money, all you will need is a First Bank Ghana account. There's another way by which we put you first. Call 0596-921-921 to find out more. And Volkswagen wants to be part of every moment in the life of every great man and woman. I'm talking about you. We want to be there for you when you start your new family, when you arrive on time for your important social gatherings, when hastening to resolve an emergency at home or at work. The new Terramont will carry all your special moments in its renowned spacious 7-seater. It's a 3.6 liter V6 petrol engine producing maximum power of about 280 horsepower. You'll be sure to be at home and work quicker than expected. It's going for 712,000 Ghana cedis. Bro, what are you saying? Boss girl, boss lady, this one is for you. Join us on Saturday for a test drive. Enjoy a test drive for all of our cars at the Accra International Conference Center. And I believe this one has happened earlier. So pass by our showroom, call us or WhatsApp us on 025-795-6688 for more information about our range of models. We have Vectus, T-Cross, T1, Allspace, Terramont, and the Amarok, which is a pickup. Hurry while stock lasts. T's and C's apply. Volkswagen, rise and thrive. I have some of your dedications. I'll be bringing them right after the Citi Business Edition, but it's an interactive show, so 0549-986-986 is the line. You can join us via WhatsApp, and we're happy to share your 0549-986-996. Okay, 0549-986-996. Thank you, Abeko. So let's get into the Oxfam Tax Dialogue, Gender and Taxation. Enjoy.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my yucca. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna give me some love, somebody. My girl, sweet girl, my girl. I can see until I find my real side. I'm gonna give me some love, somebody. La 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 la.
Hello there, welcome to the penultimate episode of the 2025 Oxfam Tax Dialogue here on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Gradually, we are drawing the curtains down on the 2025 season, and today, however, we are coming your way with another very interesting conversation just because International Women's Day is or was around the corner. That's March 8, 2025. I am Ni Latte. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Oxfam Tax Dialogue. Stay with us. When we come back, I'll tell you what the topic for discussion is, who I have here with me, and why it's so important for us to talk about this subject matter this time around. Do stay tuned in.
I'm gonna give me some love, somebody. La 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 la.
Grateful for staying. So just like I mentioned, today is all about gender and taxation. Yes, gender and taxation. I'm sure you know it's a very interesting conversation. We are looking at the intersection when it comes to gender and tax policies, and I have two fine brains with me here to really help us with this particular topic. My name is Neil Latte. Thank you for joining me. And today I have with me Rosemond Asante, who is Vice Chairperson of the Society for Women in Taxation. Mrs. Asante, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you on the platform today.
Great to be here.
Right. Next to her is Isaac Danso-Ejiri. He is a lawyer as well as a policy analyst. Isaac, thank you for joining us as well.
Thanks for having me.
Is it fair to say Happy International Women's Day?
In advance.
We are really appreciating the achievements of women, for which reason we are talking about gender and taxation today on the Oxfam Tax Dialogue. Well, a very interesting topic, I must say, and reading around, I realized that there is so much that we need to do when it comes to bridging what has become known as perhaps the inequality, the biases, or the discrimination when it comes to tax policies. And so let's begin with a very quick exercise. All over the world, when it comes to tax policies, which category of persons bear the brunt or bear the impact? Is it men or women? Interesting, I have one man here and one woman here, so we'll see how the conversation will go. So let me begin with our Vice Chairperson for the Society for Women in Taxation. Women or men at the receiving end?
Taxation in general is gender neutral. Okay, so when governments impose taxes on incomes, goods and services, they are not really targeted at any gender.
Right.
They are rather targeting those generating the income. But then implicitly, some of the tax policies impact negatively on men or women, but most often on women, hardly on men. Men, they enjoy a lot of incentives, but most often women bear the brunt because there are a lot of women in the informal sector. There are a lot of women who are also caregivers, they are not working. And if you talk about consumption taxes, most women are the end consumers and they bear the brunt. So I think that it weighs heavily.
Taxation is generally gender neutral, but when it comes to the impact, it's slightly tilted towards the implicit impact, slightly tilted towards women. Is it the same sentiment you share? Because it appears little attention is paid to the gender biases when it comes to taxation, and so why is it so important for us to look at some of these issues?
Thanks, and it's important for us to look at the gender angle of taxation because, as Rosemond said, tax generally one of the fundamental principles of a good tax system is its neutrality. And gender neutrality is one aspect of tax neutrality, which is that we are not looking at whether you are male or female. What we are looking at is that you've made a certain level of income, and for that level of income, this is the amount of tax you are supposed to contribute to the national kitty. And so that is right. Now, on the face of that, it appears that, we are at par. Right, but then when you bring the socioeconomic, sort of factors, men and women face different socioeconomic, conditions in society. So when you just oppose that with the neutral tax, then you begin to see that, women in some instances are a bit overburdened with taxes compared to their male counterparts. In certain instances, you also find that men bear a bit more in terms of the taxes. So if you look at it, for example, on the average, men earn more than women. And so if you look at in absolute terms, men will pay more taxes because they earn more in a progressive society where we have progressive taxes. Because men earn more, they will contribute more to taxes than women. We can look at it in other forms in terms of pensions, contributions, and even benefits. There's this analogy that is given, for example, that because women on average live longer than men, if two people, a man and a woman, work same role and same level of income, make the same amount of contribution to social security, it is likely that the woman will benefit more because she will live longer than the man. So it has to be, we look at this, neutrality, gender, tax neutrality, and how it affects. You look at it at a whole of system approach. Just don't look at it at individual tax level. If you look at it that way, then you may be tempted to go for knee-jerk, sort of responses. But as a whole, how are you balancing, equality and making sure that, the word is how are you getting equity so that both genders are, supported in appropriate ways.
It's really interesting how you bring the point of equity. That takes me to my next question, for example. And so if you are to unpack this whole concept of gender and taxation, what elements are we looking at? Is it just about equity, or we are also more concerned about issues like biases and discrimination, for example? Really unpack the whole concept for us, Isaac.
Certainly, the point with tax and gender is that on the face of it, we've in the past, taxes usually it's a product of the society, right? It's a product of the times in which those laws were made. In the past, we've had times where places like the UK, in Switzerland, most part of Europe, you have women not having property rights, and some of them until not too distant, past, were not allowed to even do work. If you are working, you are doing so on the permission of your husband, and all that you earn comes back to your husband, right? So taxes in those times did not have to bother really about, gender parity and, equity, how do we factor that?
But society has since so much about those areas.
Exactly. So society has since moved, from that. We have women actively forming 50%, maybe more in some, societies. What we're trying to say is that beyond the face of it, let's look at how the socioeconomic factors impact, women. How does it affect men? How do we put in measures to make sure that no one gender suffers disproportionately due to no fault of theirs because, someone wants to just impose a gender-neutral tax? I'll give a classic example in Ghana, which has been our mobile levy, Momo tax, for example, e-levy. E-levy, again, gender-neutral. If you make a transaction on a daily basis, 100 cedis, anything above that, you pay 1%. Once you send it, and whether you are male, female, whichever gender you associate with, you pay, right? But we also know that we have a very huge informal sector in the country, and the informal sector is predominantly women. So they use more of Momo transactions, and so when you have a tax like this, you have women contributing more by way of Momo. So what do in a situation like that? Are you going to say that, okay, taxes by nature has to be also easy. It has to be easy to, implement and collect, So you don't want to put algorithms, okay, if the sender is a woman, then the tax should be 0.5 or something like that. How do you do that? There have been suggestions, for example, okay, we will take the money, everyone who sends is going to pay the 1%, but of the total revenue you're going to get from mobile money taxation, e-levy, 50% of that is set aside for, say, a women guarantee or women fund.
I want you to hold your thought briefly for me, because I think you are really going into the box for me. But just so we have a very, understanding conversation, I just want to come back to Rosemond and then find out from her, because you had earlier mentioned, for example, e-levy as one of the taxes when it comes to, gender and taxation, but more specifically and in the context of Ghana, aside what Isaac has mentioned, are there specific taxes? Because in your initial submission, for example, I heard you talk about consumption tax, which, for example, VAT, for example. Exactly. And so aside from VAT, aside from e-levy, the informal sector, how it plays out over there, are there specific taxes that you think are disproportionate when it comes to women? And how did you even get there in the first place?
Well, in terms of the taxes, as I indicated earlier, taxation is gender neutral. So even for the personal income tax rates, they are also gender neutral. But then, like Isaac mentioned, when you talk about the informal sector, it's predominantly dominated by, women. So there's a need for us to balance, look at the tax rates, even in the informal sector, and how it's impacting on women. And going back to consumption taxes, I think there's a discussion that generated a lot of interest a year or so ago. Has to do with the menstrual hygiene, taxation.
The taxes on sanitary pads.
Exactly, the taxes on sanitary pads. And for me, I think this is very key, and I'm happy that the government waived taxes on it. Because assuming you go to the market, right? And then there's bottled water, there's sachet water. I look at the bottled water, I look at the price, I can't afford. So I'll opt for sachet water. But you're talking about sanitary pads here. There's no other option. Yeah. There's no hygienic option to sanitary pads.
The alternatives are not there.
No, they are not there. So we have to use it. So if we are taxing sanitary pads, then it means that we are burdening the women, especially those in the informal sector, and also our girls in schools. So it's important that the government looked at it and waived the taxes on locally manufactured, I'm stressing that, locally manufactured sanitary pads. Because for me, well, we need to do some studies, but to waive taxes on imported sanitary pads, at the end of the day, if we don't take care, we'll end up distorting the market.
The market.
They will end up very cheap on our markets, and the locally manufactured ones will be very expensive. We end up crowding out the industry, and people will end up losing jobs. So there are ripple effects when it comes to taxation in terms of gender-sensitive issues. But the bottom line is to conduct thorough study. Let's do a gender impact analysis on every tax policy that we are churning out. What is the effect or the end impact on women, and how will it also affect men? And then we can tailor the policy in such a way that it will not discriminate in excess, and then everybody will be happy.
Let's call for a gender impact assessment on tax policies in the country. That's the word from Rosemond Asante, Vice Chairperson of the Women in Society for Taxation. She is here with Isaac Danso-Ejui, who is a lawyer as well as a policy analyst. He's taking us on a break here on the Oxfam Tax Dialogue as we look at gender and taxation. I am Neil Atelate. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be looking at the impact and how we can develop gender-responsive tax policies right here in Ghana.
I'm gonna get me some love, somebody.
Welcome back. This is the Oxfam Tax Dialogue here on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. I am Ni Lati. Today we are delving into gender and taxation. My guest, Rosemond Asante, Vice President, Society for Women in Taxation, as well as Isaac Danso Ejui. He is a lawyer as well as a policy analyst. We are continuing the conversation. I continue with you, Rosamond, because you were really making some interesting points before we went on that short break. But a two-in-one question for you. Really, when you talk about the impact of some of these, gender-based taxation policies, what really is the impact on women, to be specific? And also, are there challenges that women face when it comes to complying with the existing laws that we have in the country, for which reason maybe perhaps the challenge or the impacts or the burden is really on them? I hope my question is clear.
Yeah.
All right, sure. Answer for me.
So to start with the impacts, I think it affects women adversely in terms of their disposable incomes. Because like I said, they are the end consumers, so they tend to spend more. If there's an increase in VAT, automatically prices increase, and thereafter, you need to spend more on certain products. And then also, looking at the informal sector, okay, as I mentioned, there are lots of women in the informal sector. So looking at an example, using the flat tax rate scheme, okay, it's a general tax across board, okay, so it does not really discriminate as to whether Akosia Mansa has a turnover of 1,000, Kofi has 1,005, Ekuya has 300. Perhaps they are all in the same range, and then we slap a flat rate on them. That way, somebody is going to be disadvantaged. And invariably, there are women there who will be disadvantaged. So that's why I keep on saying that it's always good to start with research. Let's do our homework well. You look at gender disaggregated data and then conduct the impact assessment so that we can gauge the effect of every tax policy before it's enacted and implemented.
Right, and what about a bit on the challenges that women face in complying with some of these tax policies?
Yes.
What loopholes do you see?
Most women in the informal sector are not so educated, okay? So then some of them may not really have access or knowledge of the specific tax laws.
Right.
So they may not know that when you pay your taxes at the end of the year, you are supposed to file your returns, and in doing so, you can also even apply for tax reliefs. They are not aware. And they may not also know certain incentives in the particular sectors that they operate. So that is why I think JRA has been doing a lot of tax education, which is good. Society of Women in Taxation, we've also been doing a lot of tax education at the market, sensitizing the women, improving their knowledge on taxation, how to pay the taxes, the benefits associated with paying of the taxes, and also the penalties, so that they can have an idea as to the taxes that they need to pay, why they have to pay. Because if you don't know why you have to pay and you don't know what is being used for, people will not comply.
I see, but with these incentives that you talk about, even aside from the fact that they may not even know about them, how accessible are they?
Talking about the tax reliefs, it's accessible to every taxpayer, resident taxpayer, but you need to file your returns. At the end of the year, you need to file your returns with the Ghana Revenue Authority. There's a form that you complete, and then you indicate the type of relief that you're applying for. We have marriage or responsibility relief, and it's granted to individuals who are married and taking care of their spouse and or 2 children.
Wow.
But the caveat is that when one person applies for the relief, the other party cannot apply for it. So here, I think maybe we can, JRA or the policymakers should be able to look into it in such a way that both parties will be able to apply. We also have child education relief. If you are taking care of your children in registered and recognized educational institutions, you are given a grant, an allowance for up to 3 children. So both parents, you cannot claim in respect of the same child. So if you have 6 children, the father can claim for 3 and the mother can claim for 3. But if you have 4 and somebody claims for 3, means the other can claim for 1. The other one, yes.
Well, to you, Isaac, very interesting point Madam Rosemond raises over there. But look at the fact that we want to raise revenue. However, we are being mindful that we don't unnecessarily overburden the marginalized or the vulnerable in society. So my question to you is, if we give all the support to the women and we leave the men, are you not disadvantaging the men and also widening the gap that we are complaining about already?
Well, good question. I think that we are not necessarily overburdening men, you know, by giving opportunity to women or giving incentives to women. I mean, there's a lot of research that actually shows that in societies where women are given some of these incentives, are given some of these resources so they have money, those societies are more equal. Children tend to do more because women generally tend to spend more of their income in the house. They buy food, they buy education, and children go to school and all of these things, you know, compared to households where the income is solely from the men, you know. So there's something to be gained, you know, as a society as a whole, if we are able to, you know, incentivize, you know, women in particular through tax incentives and also through, you know, dedicated, you know, funds for women that support women and female entrepreneurship. You know, you want to empower women. Constitutes 50% approximately of our population. You know, you don't want to be building a country with 50% of your capacity. You know, you want to build, you know, your best foot forward with 100% of your capacity, 50% men, everybody empowered, you know, and actually contributing to raising, you know, domestic revenue, building the society that we all want.
So for a sector like agri, for example, if you are to soften your stance and then make some amendment to the tax administration over there, and then you are giving some exemptions, so even in a sector which is predominantly dominated by men, and you give exemptions over there, it's likely the women, the few women over there are going to suffer. That's the picture you paint.
No, so what I'm saying here is, and I like the example of agriculture, I'm saying that let us even go beyond sectoral sort of incentives. So there's incentives for agriculture, incentives for agro-processing manufacturing. Can we have incentives for women-founded, women-led organizations and small-scale businesses?
Or women entrepreneurs in general.
In general, can we have a 5-year, 10-year tax holiday for women-led? Can we, if women go into agriculture or manufacturing, women-founded, women-led organizations, and this thing, can we give them something extra than the general, you know, just to encourage women to really do? Because, you know, the impact of, you know, this inherent bias, you know, against, you know, women is that they are more likely to just rather give up on actually working because they have responsibilities, taking care of their home and stuff like that. So they rather, if I'm going to work, I'm not going to get a lot of money. How much, we've all heard it, you ask your wife, your mother, how much are they paying you? How much do you bring home? If it's not much, just stay home. I'll pay you that, and you take care of the kids and home. You know, but we don't want this. We want women to be in the workforce. We want women to rise to the very top of their career and contribute fully to the building of the country. And this is why this is not just about women. It is about the society. It is about Ghana and trying to build a country with all our best foot, you know, forward.
Very well. So the next question would be, how do we develop gender responsive, you know, tax policies for our country? Maybe one person will look at what other countries are doing that we can tap into, and then one other person will look at the structural changes or reforms, the shifts that we need to see. I don't know who wants to take what. Do I?
He is in academia. Let him look at the structural changes.
Then you look at what other countries are doing. That's okay. So the floor is yours now.
So moving beyond Ghana, we go to our brothers from Nigeria. They are also exempting locally manufactured sanitary pads as well as baby food. Okay, locally manufactured.
The emphasis here is
but then
locally
let's move to Kenya, East Africa. They waived taxes on sanitary pads as far back as 2004.
Wow, that's over 2 decades ago.
Yes, and in addition to that, They have waived on locally manufactured sanitary products as well as imported sanitary products. And to add to it, they have also committed to providing free sanitary pads to girls in public schools. And there's always a budget line for that. And this is also being done in South Africa as well. So they are also providing free sanitary pads to girls in public schools. If you move to Tanzania, Tanzania is a bit of a mix. That is why I'm saying that when it comes to Ghana, looking at the removal of taxes on imported sanitary products, we need to tread cautiously. Because in 2018, Tanzania introduced exemption on sanitary products and reimposed in 2019 based on the research they conducted. So it's very important that we do our homework well. Let's find out what the exact situation is before we do the implementation. And then if you move to Korea, Korea has an incentive for SMEs who rehire women after childbirth.
Wow.
It could be that maybe they have an issue where when you go and deliver, you don't get your job back. So maybe to address that challenge, they have something like that. I don't know about Ghana, whether we have any such research to indicate that we also have that problem. So that's what some countries are doing. And then you look at India. India provides a discount on tax stamp for women who want to register their land, just to encourage people to register land, yes.
So for you, it's more about the homegrown solutions, find our context and what will work for us, drawing lessons from all these areas that you have spoken about.
Exactly, and as Isaac indicated, it should be a more holistic approach. So not only at the tax policies, but even looking at tax administration, looking at tax policy. How many women occupy top executive positions in our tax administrations? How many women are into tax policy? So those are some of the issues that we need to look at.
You see, Usman was answering a bit of your question. So I'm giving you 60 seconds just to tell me about how we can reverse the trend.
I think we're already on a good road as a country, Ghana. At least we don't have any explicitly biased tax against women in our system, which is a good start. What we can do better is for us to, one, and Rosemont intimated this, let's have a gender-based analysis, as part of every tax policy, fiscal policy that we present to Parliament. As part of the memo, how does this affect, the genders, and what are we doing to deal with that, This is a basic requirement which you have it, not just probably as part of tax policy, but almost every law that we're going to have in this country. That is one. Two, let's move into specifics. We have incentives that we give to women. I have already mentioned, can we, for example, set up a fund? This tax is on e-levy. If it survives this budget, can we agree that we are setting a part of it, 50%, 20%, whatever amount, to set up a fund? I know government has mentioned that the Women Development Bank. I'm not too sure, given the informal nature of the work that women do, whether a development bank necessarily will meet their needs and whether they will satisfy their requirements. But is it right thinking? A fund that is dedicated to women, that supports them, give them technical support, that gives them funding support, to grow and scale their businesses will be a good one. I am thinking that we could, for example, childcare products, and the things that household staff, that women would typically spend their money on: healthcare, childcare products, Medicare, especially maternal healthcare, and childcare health services. Those things should, let's give very good exemptions. And then for working women who having their household responsibilities, looking after children, still manage to work and contribute, can we give an incentive to them so that, the expenses they incur at home, let's give them some deduction. actually, when we are computing their income tax as an incentive so that people don't go on maternal leave and like, I don't want to go back to work. We want them back at work. To contribute.
Thank you very much. I told you that this was going to be a very interesting conversation and really tough recommendations for policymakers to chew on. And this only happens on the Oxfam Tax Dialogue right here on 97.3 Citi FM as well as Channel 1 TV. It's been another episode. I'm Neil Atelate. Thank you so much for tuning in. The next time we meet, we'll be talking about property taxation.
I'm gonna get me some love. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna get me some love, somebody. My girl. Sweet girl, my girl.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Would we say to bank be play? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
There is money in the soil. Find your way into profitable careers and businesses in Agric and ATVET now. Take a step today and change your life, your family, and community. Dial *718*50# to join now. Ghana Grows. Hope Day. Ghana Grows is an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation, Limehouse, and other partners.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Citi 97.3. More variety.
It's Friday morning. Welcome aboard to kick off on the Citi Breakfast Show with me, Edwin Kwakofi. Kickoff is powered by Shell. Shell Go Well, Zonda GH, and Lesheho. Let's improve life. Let's start off the bulletin with Sudan head coach James Kwesi Appiah, who is yet to join the Sudan national team's camp due to unpaid salaries. The Falcons of Jeddah are currently in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for a 12-day training camp as the team prepares for the upcoming 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Former Black Stars boss Appiah has skipped camp as he demands his unpaid entitlement. The former Black Stars coach reportedly ducked a meeting with Vice President of the Sudan FA Osama Atta Al-Manan after visiting Ghana. Meanwhile, the Sudan FA says it's doing everything possible to resolve their financial issues with Kwesi Appiah despite the recent challenges. Away from that story, and Ghana Football Association President Keto Kreku led a delegation from the FA and the Ghanaian football fraternity to mourn with Asante Kotoko and pay their last respects at the funeral of devoted fan Yao Frimpong yesterday. The funeral held at Heroes Park at the Babayara Stadium in Kumasi saw a strong representation from the Ghana Football Association and key members of the football fraternity. Well, it's the eve of the resumption of the Ghana Premier League for match day 23. This weekend, league leaders BBN Gold Stars host Nations FC, aiming to extend their 1-point lead, while second place Asante Kotoko face Legon Cities in a crucial clash at home. Heart of Lions just a point behind the leaders take on Vision FC in a key encounter, with House of Oak clashing with Young Apostles. Mediama SC will battle Bechem United as defending champions Samatex play in Swatraman FC. Brekum Chelsea face Accra Lions, Dreams FC take on Ediana FC, and Karela United host Basake Holy Stars. To Europe, and Manchester United had to settle for a 1-1 draw at Real Sociedad in their Europa League round of 16 first leg after Bruno Fernandes gave away a penalty for handball. Mike Oyarzabal, the scorer of the goal that broke the England hearts in the Euro final against Spain, converted from the spot with 20 minutes left as the game turned on its head after Joshua Zexi had given United a deserved lead earlier in the second half. Let's hear from Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim.
Are you happy with that or not?
No, I felt until the penalty we had the control of the game, and then I think the penalty changed a little bit the momentum. I felt our team in the last 30 minutes were really tired, and you can feel it in the game. So we take this stage to Old Trafford. It's going to be a different game. The pressure is going to be on us in that stadium, and we have to be ready. I think the key will be surviving physically to Sunday and to be ready and fresh to Thursday.
What did change in that last half hour after the penalty to lose control? Was it just fatigue or was there anything else?
No, the momentum changed, but I think was clearly fatigue.
Ruben Amorim is the head coach of Manchester United. In other Europa League results, Rangers stand Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce with a superb first leg win in Istanbul, giving the Scottish Premier League side an excellent chance of reaching the Europa League quarter-finals. Lucas Bergvall's own goal led to a flat Tottenham Hotspur losing the first leg of their last 16 tie at Azi Alkmaar. Ghana's Iñaki Williams was also on target for Athletic Bilbao in their 2-1 loss against AS Roma. In the Conference League, Chelsea maintained their 100% record in the competition, beating Copenhagen 2-1 in the first leg of their round of 16 encounter in Denmark. Chelsea took a 2-0 lead through Reece James and Enzo Fernandez before conceding later on. Let's hear from Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca.
Very important for many reasons. For sure because it's away. For sure it's because it's knockout game now, so you need that. And also for the performance, I think they surprised us because in the last almost 3 years with this manager, they played 2 games with the line of 5, so we didn't expect that. First half, I think we controlled the game. We had possession. We didn't create chances. Also, when we planned the game, we also expected don't create many chances when you have Shimi that is 17 years old, Tai that is 17 years old. So we knew that probably that we were struggle a little bit, but then overall I think we deserved to win the game, and also was a good because we give chance all of them to get minutes.
That was Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca speaking after their 2-1 win against Copenhagen in the UEFA Conference League. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. We bring you updates on X on at Citi Sports GHA and on YouTube at Citi Sports Ghana. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to ensure you don't miss out on any of our videos. And join the Citi Sports team first for the Premier League preview show on Channel 1 TV at 3 p.m. and then for Sports Panorama at 7 p.m. Kickoff is powered by Shell Go Well, Zonda GH and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Caleb Kuda continues.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings. From chicken to chocolate, caramel or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy, and laughter assemble. Because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
Did you know that worms take away nutrients from the food you eat? Just listen to them.
Brothers, yesterday the food nice, huh?
Oh yeah, the choba woman there, she did try wa.
Charlie, something come on, eat food.
It did taste like banana.
Eh, make a taste some. Make me try a taste, make a taste. Hey, something is doing me.
Something is doing me too.
Oh, it be Vermox. Oh,
Vermox banana-flavored dewormer is available in both suspension and tablet and is suitable for children and adults. It's good for you, bad for worms. Not recommended for children under 2 years and pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
You are starting life, you want financial freedom. You know where to go for your child's education, financial freedom. We got solutions just for you. For your retirement plan, employee wellness and benefits. Old Mutual, your preferred insurer. Old Mutual is the best.
What are you waiting for? Come and join us. Call us on 030-7600. Old Mutual. Do great things every day.
Do great things every day. Do great things every day.
Is your home and office protected against crime? Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar-proofing, provides fixed and sliding burglar-proof solutions for homes, shops, and offices. Trelidor has given Ghanaians peace of mind for over 20 years with the highest international standards backed by a 5-year warranty on materials and workmanship. Choose Trelidor. Call 0561 24 24 24 or simply Google Trelidor for more information. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar-proofing.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of Redwood Radio. This is City
97.3. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
primpra. And I'm a former bay, my primpra, and I'm a former bay, my primpra,
No, I don't like this song. I don't like it. No, this song is nice. Samuel Akom is dancing. He loves the song. But I could test too much. So Smart and Cancer did this one, and he calls it Impenetrating. What a topic, what a title for a song. A Dedim special is a good point to do your dedication. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. This one says, happy glorious birthday to our wonderful landlady and grandma, Mrs. Cynthia Awino Williams Annan. You are blessed forever. From your son and daughter, Mr. and Mrs. Obingdako, and your grandchildren, to you, Mrs. Cynthia Awino Williams Annan. Live long, in good health, and prosperity. Happy birthday to Kofi Adabo Ofori Amanfo of LMI Homes. This is coming from the entire Ofori Amanfo family. To you, Kofi Adabo Ofori Amanfo.
That's a belated one. Happy
Right.
birthday to Charlotte Bo.
Right.
Formerly of Stratcom. These days, you do your own business.
Right.
Enjoy the day, my friend.
Nice one. I have a belated one as well, going out to Ketis Ajokache, Dad and Mom Selassie and Nades Ajokache, and siblings Candy and Siona. Okay. Wish you a joyous celebration. May God's protection, wisdom, and love guide you as you grow. We love you more than words can express. Have a fantastic time.
Let me do a quick one this morning. Good morning, Bernard. Chaos at Legon Okonglo traffic light has not been working. No police, MTTD to manage the flow. Took God's intervention for me to cross from campus towards Bawaleshi. Please alert the Legon police. I know they will be listening to Citi this morning.
Yeah.
So we're urging the Legon police to get to the Okonglo traffic light if you're not there already.
Yeah.
And to try and sort out the confusion. That traffic light hasn't worked for almost a month.
We're told that a truck slammed into the traffic light, the control board got destroyed or something like that, and processes have been. And in fact, I read that the member of parliament for the area, he wrote on social that he has been following up with the Ghana Highway Authority, and they say they are importing the control board, the thing that got spoiled. So it's taken a while, and the confusion on that stretch has been some way. So we
traffic
need
light
the
control
police.
board, we have to import
Charlie, we are importing traffic light control board.
By the way, do you know the top 10 things we import in Ghana?
I've seen
The list.
Muadia in there.
So, of course, diesel is not surprising because of all the work, but the list is very interesting. So, Ghana's top 10 imports last year, diesel, 28 billion cedis, and then super, 24 billion cedis. Now, they have a nice name for number 3. They call it self-propelled bulldozers with 360-degree revolving superstructure. You know what that is?
Can I guess what that is?
What is it?
Must be an excavator.
Yes. So number three, in terms of value, the number 3 thing we import into Ghana is the excavator, worth 6.2 billion cedis.
Wow.
Excavator, 6.2 billion cedis.
Wow.
Can you imagine? And so the reason diesel is topping the list is because we use diesel to do a lot of these things.
Excavators, yeah.
It's used to destroy our land. Of course, some is used to build roads, but mostly it's for galamsey.
My goodness.
Can you guess number 4?
Number 4,
cement.
The clinker, no?
Cement clinker, because a lot of the companies still import the clinker, 4.8 billion. Now, number 5 is quite interesting. Used vehicles. So second-hand cars. You remember last week I spoke to people at VW.
Volkswagen, yeah.
Yeah, so they're saying that if you want the auto assembly industry in Ghana to grow, we need to reduce our imports.
Yeah.
So we import 4.2 billion cedis worth of used vehicles between 1,500 cc to 3,000 cc. Then number 6 is cereal grains, worked but not rolled or flaked. I have no idea what this means.
It's a lot of English.
Whether this is rice or whether this is
cereal grains, wet but not rolled or flaked.
I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. Somebody who understands this to help.
What is that?
Cereal grains, worked but not rolled or flaked. Number 7 is petroleum oils and oils obtained from bituminous minerals, crude, so crude oil, and then the products of petroleum. Number 8, medium oil, kerosene type jet fuel. This is all in terms of value. Number 9 is where the issue is guts, bladders, and stomachs of animals, including fish. And the others. Guts, bladders, and stomachs of animals. I don't know how healthy that is. 2.6 billion. And then number 10, herbicides, anti-spraying products, and plant growing regulators. So ostensibly for agric. Herbicides, anti-sprouting products, rather. So basically to help check weeds and stuff on farm. So chemicals for agric. So diesel, petrol, excavators, cement,
used vehicles.
And cement is actually the raw material for cement, the last raw material for cement, because some of the companies do produce their clinker here. Used vehicles, grains, I don't know whether that's rice or whatever.
Cereal grains, yeah.
Petroleum oils, medium oils, guts, bladders, and stomachs. Anyway, so that's not my main focus for the morning, but by way of information.
Just by way of information.
Yeah.
We are importing Yemuadie. Yo. 2.69 billion Ghana cedis worth of Yemuadie.
I tell you.
Now, from planning date nights to making your kids happy with the latest toy and ice cream, these many little things make all the difference in creating lasting memories. Good times start at Shell, where you can fill up on more than just fuel. Fill up on love, laughter, and sumptuous bites and treats from our partner vendors. Juicy chicken, filling burgers, snacks, a space to just unwind. You'll find it all at Shell. While you are enjoying yourself with your family and friends, your car can also get the love it deserves at the Shell service station and wash bay. It's one roof for everything. Visit Shell today. Shell, go well. And Ben, I want to say good morning to a lady called Faith. You know, the Shell at the ridge there, no?
The one near the psychiatric hospital. That lane.
That lady, her customer service is excellent. Yes. Faith.
Keep the spirit.
No, you are correct.
Faith from Shell. But this is the shop in the Shell.
Yeah, the shop in the Shell.
Not the petrol station.
They have some nice meat pie there. When you go there, she will take care of you.
Oh.
Yeah. The way she will treat you is different.
The easiest way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
You see that?
Very clear.
No, but this one is too there.
There is a card for everyone.
Yes, please.
Are you looking for a bank card that suits your needs? Zenith Bank offers a wide range of cards designed just for you. Whether you're looking for a credit card to help you meet pressing financial needs, a debit card to have direct access to your funding at all times, or a prepaid card to help you manage your spending, we have the perfect solution. So no matter your needs, there's a Zenith card for everyone. Visit any Zenith branch today and choose the card that works best for you. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
And earlier, kickoff was brought to you by the Lesheho Don't Come campaign. It's come to you because you deserve financial peace. Life comes with financial challenges, but with Lesheho, you don't have to face them alone. From now until April 30, 2025, we've reduced our interest rates just for you. Whether it's education, rent, or unexpected expenses, we've got the right loan to meet your needs. Simply WhatsApp or call Nana on 0270-040-799 or 0270-040-733. Let's make life easier together. Act now before the offer ends. T's and C's apply. Let's share home. Let's improve life. So the enjoyment is real from January to June this year. Enterprise Insurance is giving you more reasons to smile on the road. Buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy and enjoy amazing free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone. It's that simple. Insure not chilling. With over 100 years of trusted experience, we're here to secure your peace of mind. Visit any branch, connect with your insurance agent or broker. Use the Enterprise Advantage app for convenience and enjoy free fuel coupons and airtime instantly. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise is your advantage.
Next time you fly from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? In Emirates economy, you can enjoy endless entertainment on board with up to 6,500 channels. Can you imagine? Yeah, sit back, relax, and watch the latest Hollywood and Bollywood movies, comedy box sets, or even live sport. You can even stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi so you can chat with friends and family and share holiday selfies from 40,000 feet.
My goodness.
You get so much more from Emirates economy. Enjoy more convenience and flexibility to over 140 destinations within the Emirates Global Network. Find out more at emirates.com. I have some good news here. The University of Ghana Business School has extended applications for its 1-year Sandwich Masters programs.
Okay.
This include MSc Accounting and Finance, MSc Clinical Leadership and Management, MSc Financial Risk Management, MSc Forensic Accounting and Fraud Examination, MSc Hospitality and Tourism Management, MSc International Business, MSc Logistics and Transport Management, MA Marketing Strategy, MA Organizational Leadership and Governance, and MSc Procurement and Supply Chain Management. We also have MA in Public Sector Management, MSc Public Financial Administration, and MSc in Tax Policy and Finance. Now the deadline for applications is now Friday 21st March. So we've extended these deadlines. So you can call 059 550 8270. That's 059 550 8270, or go to our website ugbs.ug.edu.gh. You know, my university is so big that the business school is doing their own LPs. No, Charlie.
No, it's a big.
No,
it's a premier.
No, Charlie.
It's the nation's hope and glory.
The
primus inter pares.
The primus inter pares of universities. You know, and we have the best university anthem.
Oh yes.
You know, if I get angry, I haven't played, but not today.
No, don't get angry. Before the tech people come and cry on me today.
They have nothing to say. Their university anthem, and it's funny. Next week, I will be interviewing the former Vice Chancellor of KNUST.
Oh, right.
It's called Professor Adakwa.
Okay, right.
And you know, Tech's school anthem is, I think there are two. There's the Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is not really an anthem. It's more like the Negro.
Spiritual.
And then there's also
Lift Every Voice and Sing.
I think so. Then there's also Gadiamus, which is like a certain song. But we have Professor J.H. Kwabnanketia.
Thank you.
Hill University of Ghana.
The nation's hope and glory.
The place that bears the star of peace.
Yes.
That bids us all to do our bit.
What I say?
The greatest tower of learning.
Come on.
For both the young and old. May we proceed in unity to uphold the
integrity.
Public cause.
May we proceed in truth and integrity
to uphold the public cause.
Arise, O Legon. Defend the cause of freedom. Proceed. Eduhana backbenchers, we all join in. Arise.
No, so Legon is powerful. But Tech has done well. Tech has done well. But
it's their motto I like.
What's their motto?
It's the Nyansapo was signing of my dream bem.
I love it.
Yeah, that one is.
What does it mean?
Nyansapo is the knot of wisdom, and they are saying that it takes the wise to untie the knot of wisdom.
Solid. I like it. I like it. But they should get the university anthem composed by Konimo. You need to use your best musicologists to do such things.
No, Legon can assist them if they don't mind. We can help them.
They will not be happy to hear that this morning.
Professor Rita Dixon, good morning to you. Yeah, she's the Vice Chancellor. Yeah.
So I'll be interviewing Professor Adakwa early next week. And he's written a book. He's written a book that, you know, this work, people don't know how this work is. So they sent me the book, I think, was it Thursday? And I was supposed to finish reading it by Monday.
Oh, Charlie, but why?
Charlie, but the truth is that if you don't read the book, you can't do the
You have to read it.
So And it's amazing. Look, I think a government should find a way of using former vice chancellors of universities to more effect.
True.
Because, you know, their reflections on university education are so deep. And I think it's not just education. There are areas of practice. For example, this guy's into planning. So a lot of the things we've been talking about on this show, he actually has a lot of knowledge on things like spatial planning and those kinds of things. So, you know, the truth is that in Ghana we have a lot of brains. The tragedy is that there's always competing interests. So even if somebody gives you objective advice as a former VC or as a former whatever, but don't mind those people.
Yeah.
What did they do? You know. True. But I think a president is blessed to have a lot of wise people around them. So, which is why the media is important. So even if the person may not get to speak to a president, we will interview them on air.
True.
So even if you will not, you get me. So for me, when I see programs like what's the name of Samensi show?
Footprints.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, if you watch that program, if you watch like 20 episodes of that program, even if you don't want to be wise, you will be wise.
It will enrich your life.
You get it? Even if you don't want to be, you know, and I feel a lot of young people need to listen to those older guys to just get a sense of history.
Yeah.
You know, these days I'm really getting into the history of issues. I'm interested in the history of universities because you know why? A lot of times you cannot solve a problem if you don't understand the problem's history.
Right.
Let me give you an example. If you see two people fighting, and you want to solve the fight,
you have to understand what has led to the situation.
Exactly. So if you are not a student of history, you will fail in life.
True.
You get it? Because there's a history to everything. You know, how were universities founded? Why were they founded? And what were they trying to achieve? How did that influence their approach to knowledge? And how is that hampering or helping what we are trying to achieve today?
That's true.
So I just want to urge people to get these voices. So on Monday, I'll be interviewing former VC of KNUST, and I really look forward to that interview. I'm going to ask him why they don't have their own tree
because this one
anthem.
is surprising.
Because their motto is so nice.
Yeah, take a fool, something.
You said the motto is what again?
No, Nyansapo was signed by Dream.
I love it. It's such a power. I think you know it makes a lot of sense to me.
It gives me that Dream Shekan vibe too. It's also a very nice one. You know. But I'll give you someone to interview shortly. He went to tech.
Oh, who is this Samense?
Yes, Samuel.
I was actually talking about his program. Maybe let me start from. Is he on the line?
Yes, he's on the line.
So Samense, I was asking why tech you don't have an anthem composed by a Ghanaian. Why is your anthem Gadiamus? That's my first question. Before we talk about Heritage Caravan, this is an ambush. Why is KNUST? Why don't you have an anthem composed by a tech student? Samens, are you on the line?
I'm on the line. Thank you, Bernard. In the first place, I am not so sure if I have an appropriate answer to that. Having said that, I think the Gadiamus Egitur is an anthem that we adopted that spoke to the very present nature of our makeup as an institution. It actually addressed the issues that were of concern to us, the expressions of our independence and if you like, academics. So that's why we picked the Gadiamus. Yes, it would be if you like, it would think it home better if we have one that is composed by a Ghanaian. I'm sure that can be done. Can be done.
Okay, you've chopped straight bullets. Now that we are on that point, we are going to interview a former VC of Tech. So, how many people have you interviewed on Footprint? Can you count?
Oh, that's difficult to say. But
will it be up to 50?
Oh no, it will be close to 100.
Wow, close to 100.
Yes, it will be close to 100.
And how do you select these people?
They are selected based on their stories and how they have handled their adult life, all in relation to country Ghana. So you don't necessarily have to have been in politics, but in your personal and private lives, how you have conducted yourself, your reflections about the country, So basically, it's not necessarily for old people. We just look for people
who have a story.
Stories to tell about themselves, about Ghana, and the lessons that we can take from them.
No, I like it. I like it. But it turns out that a lot of the people who have stories that I enjoy are much older. Because obviously, the more experience you have, the more stories you have. What fascinates me about the program is, it seems like you know all the people yourself. Did you live? Sure. Did you live with them, or how do you know them? Because you ask them questions about things that is like you were there. For example, the new one you're going to play is Professor Ifua Sutherland. I think it's not AC Sutherland. Right?
Yes, Professor Sutherland.
And you were asking about her stint as Secretary for Education and Culture and her mother and all those things. Did you actually know her before you started this work?
No. Okay. So generally, I hardly know any of them in person, but they occupy such positions and roles in society, which spaces I have been connected to somewhat before, and so I am able to, if you like, regenerate my memories about some of these spaces. And again, some of them are very personal to me. It's not like I have read in a book or anything. And at times, some of the personalities are in awe of some of the things I remember. And growing up as a kid, I was very inquisitive, and I was all over the place. And so, no wonder the kind of work I'm doing today.
But you are always all over the place, and you remember things that serious people don't even remember, including the name of the comedian. Last week you forgot the name of the comedian who was part of the
Alhaji Frimpong's comedian.
But I think you remembered later. What was the guy's name?
Kotono.
His name is what?
Kotono.
Oh my God. Kotono.
So he was the comedian in Alhaji Frimpong's
band, yes.
And how old were you when you saw that performance?
Oh, 8, 9 years.
8, 9 years.
Yeah.
And you still remember Kotono's performance?
Because you see, those were defining moments in our lives growing up. It's when you are the first time you have been allowed to go on your own to attend a concert that would last till 11 p.m. till 12 midnight. And things like that. So they actually leave footprints in our lives. I mean, as for me, I can say about me, but that's how come I remember some of these things.
which means that even as you travel on the Caravan and meet people, there are things that will make an impression on you that you will remember again, because you sort of you are not just stumbling through the Caravan. You are basically
assimilating
the whole thing.
Oh yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. You're seeing the differences in cultural practices, differences in expressions. I mean, we've been through about 4 major cultural spaces where you see people dancing. Now after the 4th one, I'll be able to tell what is the difference between, and I'm not talking about the dance forms, the packaging, the presentations, the expressions, their engagement, the language. There's somebody who can sing in a language you do not understand, but you still get the message. I mean, I was in awe last night at Noda Hotel, where they had a cultural group doing the performance. I mean, I honestly thought that, we've had a lot of these cultural stuff, but Charlie, everybody came back to late just to watch the 9-year-old boy doing the cultural. And you see, the guy is dancing, but you can feel the communication. And that's the beauty of these things. And it's well packaged, very well presented, So these are some of the things that we are observing that you need to know.
You say you've done cultural space, which means that on this trip and in other trips, you do specific cultural things in addition to the leisure and fun. If I'm to get this right.
Yes, that's correct. So what we do is that we consume any and everything that these communities have to present from food to tradition to culture to entertainment, everything that they have to present, we consume. That's what happens.
So you did Volta where there was the food. You did.
We did a Volta food experience. Yeah.
Then you did a Bewa Palace.
We did the Ibewa Palace in the NBS.
And then you went.
And then we have Boga We Day in Boga Tanga.
Boga We Day.
Yeah, Boga We Day. Yeah.
What was that?
That was an exhibition of, it's like an SME fair where they come and showcase that made in Boga Tanga stuff.
Wow.
From food to apparels to snacks to, very, very beautiful.
And was this organized specifically because you guys were coming?
Yes, it was organized specifically because we were coming and organized by one of our colleagues, Christopher Asima. Wow. Who actually owns the brand Boga We Day.
So hold on. So hold on. You went when you got to the Volta region. There was a food experience done because you were there. Then
yes, Volta food experience.
Then
yes,
we did that. Yana did the Deba because of you guys.
That's correct.
Then Boga We did an exhibition because you guys were there.
Yes.
Hey. So which is the fourth one? Is it Kumasi or Sunyani? What was the next one you did?
The next one is a taste of Kumasi, which is what we did yesterday.
A taste of Kumasi?
Yes.
What was that?
A taste of Kumasi. It was a food fair for
also put together because of the Caravan.
Yes, and that was sponsored by Gino.
A taste of Kumasi.
Yes.
But I didn't know you were doing taste of Kumasi. You should have told me so that I'll join my place.
Now you know.
Oh, you
if you know, you know.
You didn't try at all. Because I didn't know you were doing anything in Kumasi. I thought you just went to the military museum.
No, we did the military museum. Beautiful, and I had nostalgic memories about the military museum because that's the same area I started my basic school, the Armed Forces Primary School, which is next door to the military museum. So while you were watching, I was just looking around.
So how many places have you lived in this world? Because you alone, you are from Amamomo. You alone, you went to some eastern region village called Nankesi. You alone, you are from Ojumakun, Enyan, Esiam, something. You alone, you are from this Swedro something. Now you are also Kumasi. Why? Are you Kagdi? Are you Kagdi?
No. I mean, I remember because of the stories that I tell concerning these places. And, it's not like I visited the place. I'm talking about a place that I lived proper. And so I saw the Armed Forces Museum, and look, they've kept it nicely since we were kids. The color has been maintained, red as it used to be. And I'm talking about the 70s. And it's been like that. They've expanded it there.
The question I'm asking is that are you like a policeman? Because is the police people who move a lot.
Everywhere.
You alone, you live in Greater Accra, you live in Central, you live in Eastern, you live in Ashanti.
Yeah, because I was born to parents. My father worked with Cocoa Marketing Board at the time, and my mother was a nurse who also would be transferred from place to place. So a combination of these two would have me visit different regions and live there actually. So that's
so your father was a Cocoa Karachi?
In the right sense of the word.
Proper Cocoa Karachi. So
yes, that's what he was.
So he was like, okay.
Basically means the official clerk representing the Cocoa Marketing Board in the community.
Yeah. So they are the clerk who comes to take records, who will work formally with the farmer, and then pay them. Pay the farmer.
Produce,
yeah.
Yes. That's basically what he did at the time.
Oh,
so it would take me from Ashanti to Central to Eastern. Spent most of the time in the Eastern region in Ashanti.
Wow. Charlie, serious. By the way, what happened in BA? So you did Mole, and then from Mole you got into Uzbek very late, I suspect.
Yeah, I mean, we had a very interesting experience. we left Mole right on time, got on the road back, but we didn't go through the Bole Bamboy side. We went back through Kintampo, Techimai. And we had a breakdown with one of our vehicles, unfortunately.
You had a breakdown?
Yeah, one of the vehicles. So what we did was we allowed the rest of the vehicles to move ahead of us so they can. So we were left with one bus. One bus had a problem. So STC, the mechanics started working on it. For 2 hours, we noticed that we're not going to make it. So we had to now go and rent a VIP bus from Techiman.
Are you serious?
Yes. So we got a VIP vehicle from Techiman who came to ferry our patrons. And we're 3 hours away from Sunyane. So by the time the VIP, everything was sorted, it was 9 p.m.
My God.
So we set off at 9 p.m. We got to Sunyane just before midnight. Because it was raining. Brutally raining, yes.
This
so
one there, you've had a real experience. Proper caravan.
Yeah. But the funniest part, when they are cooking down that you thought that people would be agitated.
They are seeing Jama.
No, they were to gather the children in the. It happened in the town called Jema.
Jema
is in Kintampo South.
Yeah.
Kintampo South. Yes. And they were doing community dancing competition for the children.
Wow. So this is bus what? Bus 1, 2, or 3?
Bus 2 it was.
So bus 2 people were doing community dancing for the kids in Jema.
Yes. So they spent like 1.5 hours doing community dancing.
Wow.
Hey, I'm out for the boogie brutal.
So you got a bus from Techiman to come to Jema to pick them.
Yeah.
Wow. That must be.
Wow. So it's like an hour. So came back to Jema, picked us all the way to Sunyane. Got to Sunyane at midnight. And,
Charlie. But when you got there, Uzbek had food waiting for you, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
As usual, was very good. Very, very good. And then from there, we came to Ashanti region yesterday, straight to Kumasi, the military museum, as we talked about. And then from the military museum, we went for the taste of Kumasi.
Wow. Now, so let's look at what's happening today. You are on your way, or you should be on your way to the Western region as we speak, right?
Yes, please. We are actually leaving Kumasi. We are actually at the outskirts of almost at Obuasi now.
What route are you using? Which regions will you pass through?
Ayamfuri Road, Takwa, Ayamfuri, because we are going to Maha Beach.
So you will not pass Takra. You will join through Takwa Strait.
We'll go through Takwa.
So you you even pass through Apiete, where the explosion happened the last time.
Yes.
So Wasa Ikropong, and then you will do the rubber plantations at what do you call it? Bonsa.
Yes. That's correct.
That is a very interesting route you've chosen. So wow. So then you get to Atuabo probably late today.
Yeah, we will. Okay, so we are expected to get to Atuabo between 5 and 6 p.m.
Okay.
Because we
That's
will
early.
stop at Nkrofo. We'll stop at Nkrofo.
Oh, you check out Nkrumah's house.
Yes.
And the river behind his house. You just check him out small.
Somebody stepped on the fish, and then the fish spoke.
Yeah, that place.
And then something happened,
Yeah, I know that. So, anyway, so when you finish that, so then you get to Atuabo at 6. This year, you're doing 2 days at Maha.
That's correct.
Wow. Now, I think that's great because you also want people to relax a bit. And Maha has always been the place people want to stay a bit longer and you have to leave early. So you're giving them a 2-day today.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is once we get to Maha tonight, we have an evening program. And then tomorrow morning, we travel to Elubo.
Hey, now, Honswe.
Oh, we want to experience the Ivory Coast border as well.
So you alone, you've gone to Burkina Faso. Why you want to do?
I mean, we want to do La Côte d'Ivoire as well.
You want to do regional tour now because last year you did Togo through Agoti Mekbetwe. Now you want to do Elubo.
Yeah, so we'll do Elubo in the morning.
Wow.
And then in the afternoon we'll go to the waterfront. They have a boat ride for the patrons on the river. And, we have the celebrations dinner dance in the evening where all the birthday celebrants and the wedding anniversary
will be celebrating.
People will be, yes.
But are you aware that are you aware we are in the middle of an economic crisis and that we are chopping independence on a low budget? You don't seem to be part of the country. You are just
No, this is the real independence, and I'm enjoying the independence celebration. It's the low budget independence celebration. A low budget, Charlie. No. John, how you do all?
I swear. Hey, Charlie. I tell you, Charlie. Independence Day in front of his office. He brought the whole Ghana to his office.
After 2 hours, they say, Charlie,
we finished. They say if you don't have invitation, stay home and watch on TV. Hey, Charlie, this JM 2.0, there be hard.
No, Charlie, do all. I've been waiting for this kind for a very long time.
Charlie, you bow.
They put them plenty, they stand, the sun, some are collapsing.
He said, no, go do that again. He said, Akmakot,
never again should we get to that waste of everybody's time that we go and time, the sun and children are collapsing.
Hey, Charlie. No, Charlie. Okay, so. Okay, when you finish your 2 days, would that be it, or would you do anything in the central region?
We will stop on our way back from the western region. We have what we call a farewell lunch. Yes, farewell lunch in Cape Coast, to be hosted by the Sanahini of Cape Coast. So that will be Cape Coast will be the last one.
Charlie, it means this your Heritage Caravan this year is the official, because this year you are meeting big men, pound. It's like you are not playing at all.
Oh, Charlie, because we are just connecting to the communities. That's the thing. It's not just a whistle stop. You want to know how the communities are made up. Hello.
Yeah, you are here. I'm hearing you.
Yes, you want to know how the communities are made up. And at times you need time to do that, or you need a proper person to tell you about this thing. So it's all part of the immersion.
Charlie.
We have lunch at a place called Lash on the Post. Lash on the Post in Cape Coast.
With the Sanahini.
Yes, Nana Kweku Yenzu. So
against music.
Jesus. Yes, please. We have they will have the cultural set up made, and then we have Inchin band in attendance with us.
Wow.
And they've been amazing so far.
It was a good idea to take them. It was a good idea to take them, right?
Oh, they've been amazing, Bernard.
Wow.
I mean, when we got to Ibrahim Mohammed's place, it was a spectacle to behold.
Wow.
I mean, the patrons did not expect that, but Charlie, they got there, and in Tintimban has set up already in their apparel in the northern smock and their dressing. Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Yes.
So it means you get to Accra on Sunday evening.
Sunday, yes. Yes, please.
When you see Kotono, greet him for me. Thank you.
Oh my God. Kotono.
Charlie, enjoy. You're a big man. Too much, Charlie. You are big.
We are on our way. We will keep you posted. Wow. Thank you very much.
I was speaking to some men. Say, Kotono.
No, Charlie, we've missed our banner. That's it. No.
Next year you go.
No, the Fufu in Kumasi. No,
but you're on last
3 years ago.
2020.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
No, you're on 2023.
Yeah.
That's 2 years ago.
No, I was on 2022.
2022.
I was there 3 years ago.
2022.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it's nice. But what I'm hearing,
Charlie,
this one is like Muhammad 2.0.
Charlie,
you know what I mean?
Charlie, the president,
no, he said
he cancelled the whole stadium, Independence Square.
50 million
come to my office.
Just come to
in
the
front of my office.
If you don't have, if I don't come,
Charlie,
watch on TV.
Oh,
Charlie.
Hey,
yeah.
No, you do.
You have
Independence Square.
I don't know.
He cancelled the whole thing.
Oh my goodness. And this one, happy birthday to my senior brother, big brother Joseph Ahinkra, aged gracefully in the Lord, from Kojo Achampon, Oyibi Hills. Yeah, Kojo, consider putting Ahinkra on the Caravan next year. He will love it. A very special happy birthday to a very special man, Perry Appel. You're truly amazing beyond words, and I love you so much. This year is filled with greater testimonies for you. You're so blessed and favored, and no enemy can do a thing about it. Our girls and I appreciate you so much. Enjoy your day fully. Maramedze from the Edwalfs, Aseye, and Nairam. Okay. Kindly wish my sister, Mrs. Regina Yawa Bomanuklu, a belated happy birthday. Yeah, Bomanuklu. Yes, please. And I told me, belated happy birthday. She celebrated her 50th birthday anniversary yesterday. I want to wish her God's favor and grace. May she not lack any good thing. This is from Pastor Samuel Bomanu of Jesus Generation Ministries, Kaswa Akwele. Okay, there's Akwele to the Kaswa. Thanks. Have a blissful day. All right. Happy birthday to Grace Chakboy, a loving mother and inspirational role model from your loving and wise children. You didn't add your names. Some comments came a bit earlier.
Let me read a
Yes,
few quick ones. So you know the point I made about Samens moving across the country.
Yeah.
So this is Methodist church pastors' children also move around the country a lot.
Right.
An average of 3 to 4 years on average at one station.
Wow.
Sometimes heartbreaking for we the young ones.
3 to 4.
But you know, I think it's actually an advantage because you see, in a strange way, people like you and Samens who have moved around a lot have a better world view than people who have lived. Look at me, born at Legon, went to all
School in Lagos.
Charlie, just very narrow.
Went to Precinct.
It's not good.
Went to Lagos.
So you see,
come to Adabaka.
You are more flexible. You are more, Samens do the same.
No, but Samens' own is something else, because his recollection of the events, and like you said, when you watch the footprints, it's like he was there with the people.
Yeah, but you see, what's the point of being in a beautiful country and staying only in one place?
Yeah,
So I think those of you who've had parents who are police or pastors, it's actually an advantage eventually.
Yeah.
Because you become. Look, you can speak a lot more languages.
More eclectic.
When you listen to a politician who speaks multiple languages, you admire them.
They live in different places, yeah.
So let me read another one. So this is the official University Relations Officer. It says, Bernard, a bit of correction.
Okay, please.
The university anthem of KNUST is Lift Every Voice and Sing, not Gadiamus. Lift Every Voice and Sing is a slave trade motivational song.
So not good
Gadiamus is a Latin song which acknowledges how the power of the academia has brought people from different backgrounds, ethnic, religious, etc., to a function like the congregation. It also celebrates the education that the university has given graduates. We sing both songs in a congregation ceremony. Gadiamus being a Latin song excites students a lot, resulting in the song becoming more popular than Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Okay.
But I share your position that KNUST should get a locally composed university song which highlights attributes and aspirations of KNUST. Yes, which is what sets the gun ahead.
What I say?
Let's talk to Kofi Akpabili.
Yes.
For the other side. So we spoke to Samens on the official side. So Kofi, thank you so much for joining us. And Samens was telling us that you've had cultural experiences in all the regions. So Volta food, you did the Gbewa Palace, you did the Best of Bolga, I think you called it, and you also did the Bolga Wide.
Yeah.
And then you also had a taste of Kumasi.
Saleh.
But you didn't tell me that you people were eating so much.
Hey.
Kofi, what is it that you just traveling and eating for us? What is that, Kofi Akpabli?
Oh, Bernard. You know, food is an interesting allure when it comes to travel. When people go places, one of the things they want to experience is food. How is the food like? So you can't do this without sampling. And sampling we have been doing. So Bogatanga, they spread us. Tamale, they spread us. People had authentic TZ, Tungbani, name it. We've had it. So the kinds of food we sample are also the kinds of food that are native to the place. Yes. So we are not shy about that at all. We have our fun, we have our food.
How has the descent from the north coming down been? I think the last time we spoke, you were on your way to Mole. You said it's Mole, not Mole.
Yes, you got it right.
Mole. So just walk me through Mole and where you are now. What have been some of the key highlights for you?
Okay, so we are currently heading towards Western region, but from Mole, the Mole experience is one of the highs of the trip because it's not every day that you see an elephant, and we're lucky. I've seen many elephants on that day. The fact of Mole is that it's the biggest park in Ghana where you encounter animals in their own world. So at Mole, when you encounter an animal, you have to give the animal has the right of way. It's not the human being who would expect the animal to dodge. It's their territory. And patrons enjoyed, took pictures with the elephants, and then enjoyed the entire ecosystem as the place. Hello, Bernard?
Yes, you are on. So Mole, because the animals are in their natural ecosystem, is more authentic than these zoos and stuff, right?
Oh, yes. You see the baboons. In fact, the baboons, as you can imagine, are friendlier, so they will come to you and actually try to pick any food item that you have around. So Mole was one such experience people consider the highlight of the tour. Yes. So from Mole we descended to Sunyani, and Sunyani, Usbed has been with us throughout the heritage caravan, and they always make us feel at home. Again, they spread you. There you have your prapransa, you have your palm wine, you have your ampesier, you have everything that you think a community such as the Bono region should have in terms of food. So it's an offering to project the region and to tantalize your palate. So you get there.
Did you do Kintampo Falls this year?
We passed through Kintampo, the center of Ghana. We did not stop because of the journey and any time. But we did pass through Kintampo, we passed through Kechiman, and then descended onto Sunyani. From Sunyani, we went through to Kumasi, and in Kumasi we did the military museum. There's an important military museum there where you have exhibits that depict the military history of the Gold Coast. And they told us very interesting things, which I consider as the politics of the shoe in the military. You see soldiers today wearing shoes, but how did it begin? It never started that way. The Gold Coast soldiers had to be dressed and operate without shoes. And we saw pictures to show that.
Wow.
It took a long while before you find the first Gold Coaster wearing a shoe.
So they were fighting barefoot.
Oh, yes.
Amazing.
And then there was a room that they call the cool room. And that cool room, you have exhibits related to Kotoka, exhibits related to Afrifa, and then General Ankara. And then you are told the story of how that failed coup happened, and then how Kotoka was killed. And that bit of, okay, let's honor him because he tried to avert a coup and he died. And, you know, so that whole story is also told. And people left there feeling that, oh, we saw the flag of the German, we saw the flags of the Japanese. You know, in war, when you conquer a nation, you have to capture the flag eventually. So those items are also on display. And patrons learned a lot just looking at those. From Kumasi, we're tired, we're hungry, so we're taken to guess what? A typical Koba experience.
Thank you.
Where Fufu was on display.
Fufu in all his glory.
Oh my God. Very rare. Abenkwine, light soup, donut soup, ebunebunu. So patrons had a chance to do onto Fufu what ought to be done.
What will Kumasi be without Fufu? Do you know?
And then we arrive at our hotel at Norda.
I'm told that in Kumasi they even do Fufu. They even do Fufu in the mornings.
Oh yes, and it feels different. I love it. The Fufu feels different.
It feels different, eh?
It feels different. You feel authenticity as you travel.
They use. I'm told. So Kumasi Fufu is more body, more plantain
than cassava.
Plantain based.
Oh. I don't know how you do it, but your tummy knows that this is good.
This is good. Wow. Now, so you left Kumasi, and I'm told you are going through Obuasi, and you use the mining areas of Ayamfuri, Wase Kropong, and stuff like that. So that must go. That's going to be an interesting drive. Opening your eyes with what the Galamsey has also done, because I think the last time I was on that route, I saw a lot of mining issues.
Of course. So as patrons head southwestward, we are traveling southwestward. We've just left Kumasi behind, and people would begin to see how this menace we've all talked about, how it is playing out on the ground. You will see the destruction, you see the desecration, and then you would also see the plantations, remnants of the plantations that were there before this scourge took place. Patrons will have the chance to see rubber plantations. Some don't even know how a rubber tree looks like. Prior to that, when we were between Sunyani and Kumasi, people could also see the cashew, which is an important cash crop. So as we proceed on the journey, people see the economics as well. It's not just tourism and fun. They see the economics, they see the geography, they see the real things as pertains to each place that we go to or drive through.
As you drive through these regions, do you get a sense that there are different Ghanas or is the same Ghana? I ask this because, you know, for those of us who live in Accra and spend all our time in between Medina and Atabraka, you know, that's our world, right? But you've done, I don't know, over 2,000 kilometers and counting. Are there different Ghanas? Do you get a sense that there are so many people who are not necessarily even thinking about what we think about every morning on the radio show here?
Yeah, that's a question that can be answered at different levels. But of course, we are all not the same. Things are all not the same. So there are different Ghanas. People have separate expectations. Even the allegiances are different. People see places and sometimes they wonder whether this is part of the country. Why? Because of the levels of deprivation. On the cultural level, the culture differs, the language differs, the lifestyle differs. So you see people looking at you and wondering what your problem is, because they can't just understand why you would be leaving your family, leaving your work back in Accra and just crisscrossing. That's way out of their imagination. So, yes, there is no one Ghana. We let patrons understand that when you get to a community and you see poverty, yes, there's poverty, but that doesn't mean the person is living in perpetual sadness. In their circumstance, they make do. They have their wealth, they live their life, and they are happy. Sometimes happier than you and I who think we are well endowed in Accra. It's the way of the world. And this trip allows people to learn that as well.
No, I appreciate this. So, just a final thought. Western region has always been fascinating for me because it seems to have a lot of things. The gold, so the mining, the timber, the rubber, and now, of course, now oil. But it's a region that's always, from a political point of view, unhappy. It's like they feel they give so much but get so little in return. You know, and now they are bearing the brunt of Galamsey. I'm wondering, what are you looking out for? Of course, they gave us Kwame Nkrumah as well, who is probably our best treasure. So that region is a very interesting region for many, many reasons. What are you looking forward to as you descend into the region today?
Very, very interesting. And we also have the Nkrofo Kwame Nkrumah's village. And you didn't even mention the harbour. So the Western region is that port which is so well endowed that you think that region alone could possibly take care of the half of the nation in terms of revenue and resources. But why it isn't the case is part of our story as Ghanaians. People are going to be fascinated. The richness of the place, the greenery, the fact that this is one place where you have so much natural resources on the ground and below the ground. And for some, they will engage the Galamsey and then see how the Cobra, the Pra, because we'll see them in Western region, how they have been desecrated. Maybe the water may be slightly better looking now, because you and I know that there may have been a lull in activities as far as Galamsey is concerned prior to the election and after. But it's going to be our litmus test to seeing the river ourselves, the two rivers ourselves. It will going to be our litmus test to know how polluted it is or not. So this leg of the journey is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very provocative and engaging. Not to talk about Maha, where we are spending for the first time 2 nights straight. Oh my God, Bernard. You should be here.
Wow. Hopefully next year, if God gives us life. But Charlie Kofi, thank you. Thank you so much for always giving us reflective thoughts on the trip and for the work you do on the buses with your very deep knowledge about Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah, Kofi, thank you very much. Kofi Akwabli, author, writer. Great guy. Great guy.
But as they're heading to the Western region, I want to drop something for the West Side. For the West Side people, no.
What are you dropping?
This one.
Because
But it sounds like I'm hearing different languages. Because Ghana Mujie sounds like Hausa.
Don't even go there.
There's some
So,
this
you know, because the group had a lot of work, travel around different parts of the coast. So I'm told there are about different languages that they put into one song.
Yeah.
To just, you know, it's a code for those who know, they know.
It's so creative.
Let me actually wish a few people a quick greeting. I want to wish my good friend and mentor Kwesi Kodo,
right,
formerly of Reuters, and now with the African Development Bank, a happy birthday.
Nice.
You know, he worked for Reuters many years, writing on the economy and that kind of thing. Now he's with ADB, African Development Bank. Also want to wish Pastor Dandate and his wife a happy 38th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
Can you imagine? Married for 38 years, Reverend Dandate.
Interesting.
God bless you and your wife. May you have many more years of great blessing. Another one coming into Mr. Fred Adu. Fred, I didn't add your father's name. You just said Mr. Fred of PBC. We appreciate your love, good works, and sacrifices to give the best not only for us but for our community.
Yeah.
May the Lord honor you and your labor of love. May He continue to bless you and sustain you, even as you move into your next phase in age. May He carry you and preserve you, according to His promises in Isaiah 5 and Isaiah 46 verse 4. We love you dearly, Daddy. And apparently Frida's father worked. Now we are talking about people who travel, right? So this is Frida Idu's dad who's celebrating his birthday.
Right.
Now he says, my dad's work in the cocoa industry also enabled us to travel all over the main cocoa growing areas, except the northern regions. It was 7 of the 10 regions at the time. We lived at New Edubiasi, which is in Ashanti.
Interesting.
In Koko, eastern region, Joaboso, which is now western north, Dunkwa Onofin, which is in between central, western, and Ashanti. You know, that strip. The central region has a certain strip that takes you inside.
Correct.
It's like a new republic. Dunkwa Onofin, Takrade, Sefiyu also.
Hey.
Swedru and Kumasi.
Oh, they roamed.
She also lived in Koforidua and Sunyani and other places.
Sister.
We have very fond memories and stories of all the duty stations. And it's been such a blessing, unparalleled, and enlightening experience to our family.
Thank you.
The food, the culture, the people, the geography, the environment, everything. Meanwhile, Frida herself is from Volta.
Oh, Charlie.
Is it Vanel or something?
I can imagine how many languages does she speak.
I wonder how many years she spent. You know, you need to
be embedded enough, you know.
And also the places you live before age 12, you get a language. But sometimes when you grow, actually you are smarter when you are younger. Do you know that?
Actually. Yeah, problems are small.
Because the system makes you dumb.
As you grow.
So it's true.
You
so
think about food
if you pick a 3-year-old.
Yeah, they're smart.
A 3-year-old can learn Japanese effortlessly. You struggle.
It will be a challenge.
Your brain
the girls, if I'm struggling.
Your brain is too old.
Oh, Charlie.
It's crazy, man.
It told me.
Onoga.
It told me. No, Bernard, you remember the gentleman who was the tour guide when we went to Morley National Park 3 years ago?
Yes.
Paul Adder.
Yes.
I told you he was my senior in O'Reilly Senior High School.
Was he an immigration?
No, he was a forestry commission guy.
He spoke so well.
And he loved his job.
Oh, he was your mate?
He was my senior.
In secondary school?
At O'Reilly Senior High School, yeah. He got married recently.
The area?
I don't think so. Paul Adder must be a Voltarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's done so well.
He's done so well. I think he moved to the Accra Achimota Zoo, recent Accra Zoo, they call it. Yeah, so he got married recently and his birthday is also passed, but we just a shout out to Paul Adder. Yes.
He's so eloquent.
Paul is now at Achimota, yes, that's true.
So in the game reserve. Good morning, guys. Actually, the best time for fufu is the morning. Aside from the fact that it takes you through the day longer.
In the morning.
This is the time that the chemical equation of the soup is at its apex. Eduakwa in Sunyai.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one is an interesting one from Albert. Albert, I don't have time for this argument.
Good
morning, Bernard.
Atebubu
is a better representation of the center of Ghana than Kintampo.
Yeah.
Okay, Albert, you can rewrite the map of Ghana.
No problem.
You have the energy. I don't. It's good to travel to most of the places in Ghana before moving out. I'm amazed. I know virtually all these places that Samen was mentioning.
Yeah.
The only region I'm left to visit is Upper West, and I'm hoping to do this in June 2025. You say.
But when was the last time you had moi moi?
I think I was at.
You remember how it is or how it looks?
It's bean cake.
Yes,
bean cake. I remember I was at a program where they served food. And it's nice actually.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
We actually prepared moi moi when I was in JSS 2.
At home?
No, you know, in my time in second JSS, you do under life skills. There's a day we cook. and they divide us into groups. And my group, one of the things we're supposed to cook
You
was
made moi.
We use beans.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's cooked, but
no, we had to cook
no,
moi.
No.
I think our teacher was Mrs. Dakwa. Yeah, moi.
I don't know how
and
it's
they give
made.
you marks for cooking, no?
Moi.
Yeah, we had to cook. So they divided us into 6 or 7 groups.
Wow.
GSS 1 or 2. I don't remember now.
No, I had one yesterday.
It was good, eh?
Kesin and Nefua.
I tried to enjoy.
Yeah, it was good.
The way we are using this platform to enrich yourself. We have to.
No, that one it's an experience. We are rich.
Special prosecutor to pay gift tax, because we like the way you are going. You know, God bless.
Oh, now therefore you a big one. Coconut Group will tell you do all. Now play, win, celebrate, get in heritage. Test your skills, you know, worry. Ampe, Ludo, and more prizes await the champions on 15th March 2025. There are lots of fun there will be lots of fun games, activities, and freebies. Girlfriend, why? Feel the rhythm of Ghana's music legends. Join us for an unforgettable night of high life, hip life music, fun, and friends at ARC on the 22nd of March 2025. Mark your calendars and join us as we celebrate the Ghana month with lots of fun and a shopping experience at Achimota Retail Center. Remember that the Achimota Retail Center Ghana Month celebration runs throughout the month of March with cultural performances, games, and exclusive promotions all March long. Visit our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Achimota Retail Center. You wouldn't want to miss this.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Afi for free. Provident Insurance Bema Kwentwa Odasa. If January equals March 2025. What the insurance one some shop Provident Insurance and sa. Some renew and now we are for free. Openya Chadia P. Emufua coupons and Provident Souvenirs Papa B. And you trade. One year WhatsApp assistant or buy and chat is here. 024-242-6396. Obeso 2 out over to me swakwa and 15 branches. Yet to a particular and mobile. Over to me soon brokers and agents in the mobile this was. Fear Janami and Sunny na Provident Insurance as some Ghana man some power Makonia Badi wa Wabambo Massa special for you for Kaisan check a
With Provident, man, you're covered.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Masapu beson, asapu beson ba, asapu beson wonya kwa wabo kwa mpa. Aye. Asapu beson wonya nyumo motu apa. Aye, wonya yiro maso apa. Aye, wonya kuro maso apa. Aye. Abrunyo, aye, abrunyo, aye, wonya kuro bezamba, aye, asafu besan.
CK Man's Asafu Besan leads us to Heritage on Air series, where we are celebrating Ghanaians of historical significance. Today, Kweku Dankwa will be telling us the story of Honorable Justice George Lawe Arthur Jabano, Prince Oheneba Samson Sechijan, His Lordship Chief Justice Julius Sarkodie Ado, and then Kweku Dia Sechi. Bernard says with Kweku Dankwa Ankara for the Heritage on Air series. Enjoy this one. We'll be right back.
Ago.
Welcome to another edition of our On-Air series for Heritage Month 2025. This series is looking at people of historical significance from the regions. Today we are focused on the Eastern region. My guest is historian Kweku Dankwa Ankara. We have some fascinating people you haven't necessarily read about in your textbooks who are very important in our history. Stay with us.
Ago.
Welcome back. So this series is looking at people of historical significance from various regions. Today our focus is on the Eastern region. My guest Kweku Dankwa Ankara. The Eastern is an interesting region because it's a blend of many Achims, Ekwapims, Kwewus, and also Krobos, and even Guans. So who are you picking and why for the 2 or 3 we are discussing today?
Also, we're choosing one from Drabian side.
Okay.
Who is a very top-notch, but people don't often discuss him. That is His Lordship Justice Julius Sarkodie Ado.
Okay.
And then we are also going to deal with lawyer Arthur Lawe Jabano, who is also a Krobo, who also became a High Court judge, and then became a Minister of State.
Amazing.
And he was also the champion commissioner of the Boy Scouts.
Amazing. So let's start with His Lordship Chief Justice Julius Sarkodie Ado. By the way, you said the first Chief Justice of Ghana was?
Seaku Kosa.
So will Sarkodie Ado be the second?
He is the second Chief Justice.
So where was he born? Where is he from? And where was he schooled? Let's talk about his education.
Okay. So he was born at Koforidua Tafu in 1908.
Okay.
And he schooled at Koforidua Methodist School. From there, his father, who being a rich merchant, sent him to Sierra Leone, where he studied at the high school, the Methodist High School, went through the Fura Bay, proceeded to England, and continued at University of London, commercial studies. After his commercial studies, he went on to the Inner Temple, and he became a lawyer in 1936.
Wow.
After that, he joined the A.L. Bryden and Williams, was a famous solicitors firm in London, and they brought him to Gold Coast to become their agent. So most of their local cases in the concession areas, he was the one doing it. And he was very famous in the commercial transaction around that time. that most of the cases of libel, most of the cases of the concessions, he was involved. At one time when Dr. J.B. Dankwa, who was then the columnist of the Cape Coast Spectator, wrote an article that libeled the colonial administration, he was to be punished and to be sent to prison. It took Julius Sarkodie Ado, who went to the Cape Coast Court, and then he actually sort of defended him. And this was the thing that J.B. Dankwa actually wrote in his article. The article he did was entitled "A Soldier's Farewell to West Africa." And he began the article with "Land of my sweat and stinking socks," ending with "Land of bastards, farewell." So the colonial administration found the words to be really abusive, and as a result, he was charged for slander and defamation of character of the colonial administration. And Julius Sarkodie Ado was the one that came in to plead on his behalf and successfully got him out after paying some fine, which was about £5, and he got him out. So it shows you the man's stature. He was also the man who was involved when the 1936 Gold Coast petition of the between Kojo Thompson and Ratepayers Association. He was one of the people who defended Kojo Thompson and the Gamambi party. So he was a lawyer through and through, who was well respected. So he got appointed by the colonial administration as a magistrate, and then to the West African Court of Appeal. He was there, and later, when Nkrumah came, he went to the Supreme Court to become one of the justices, and that made him the first Asante to be on the Supreme Court. So while he was on the Supreme Court and the 64 case came, that is the Adama Fio, Kofi Crab, Akwaje case, based on the Kulagugu bombing, that case came, and then the people were found not guilty. As a result, Kosa was sacked. Van Leer sacked himself as a result of what was going on, and the new court was reconstituted. The new court that was reconstituted, Julius Sarkodie Ado was appointed as the Chief Justice, and he was the one who handled the case and found the people culpable of the offense. As a result, many of the anti-Nkrumah's party feels slighted by him. They hated him, so they never said any good things about such a very top-notch lawyer. And that is why we do not even hear about his contribution, even towards a man from that fraternity, political fraternity. And as a result, his name got lost.
So his work for J.B. Dankwa is overshadowed by the sentencing of Tewe Adama Fio and Co. in the Kulungugu bombing case, for which the tradition did not feel happy
about it.
But you believe that his contribution as a pioneer in law, as a jurist, is up there.
It's top notch, and it is without question around that time. And even his ruling at the Supreme Court is there for all to see. And so he was a very quality judge. And since he hold that position, when the coup occurred in 66, he was sacked because some of them felt that he shouldn't have taken the position when Kosa was sacked, and he has taken the position. So they hated him for daring to take the position. So he was sacked around that time, and as a result, he was not able to, kind of go back to the bench again. He went into his private practice, and then he died quietly as a result of this issue.
So he's obviously one of the pioneering lawyers in Gold Coast.
He was one of the pioneering lawyers, being the second Asante lawyer, being the first lawyer from the Eastern region who was coming from that area of course, in the Eastern region, the first lawyer you talk about is Dr. J.B. Dankwa. He is the first Achim lawyer in 1927. He became a lawyer before J. Sarkodie Ado will become a lawyer, of course. But I'm saying he's the first lawyer from the Dwaben enclave. From the.
But we've heard of other Sarkodie Ados in the legal profession. So he's not the only one. Have there been any others?
No, we have Justice Poku Sarkodie, who died in the with the Japan, as well as Kranti Ado. He is different.
Different, no
he
relation.
Is Sarkodie.
Different from Sarkodie.
This is Julius Sarkodie.
Amazing. So he was our second Chief Justice.
He was our second Chief Justice.
Now, let's talk briefly about Prince Ohineba Samson Sechijan, because you said the Eastern region also produced other people of significance. A lawyer, I am told, and editor of a magazine. So tell me who this Prince Ohineba Samson
So
Sechijan.
Ohineba Samson Sechijan was an anthropologist. He was also a journalist, and before he became a lawyer. So this gentleman actually, after his school in Agribusiness, he went to the Agribusiness Presbyterian schools. Afterwards, then he became a member of the Agribusiness advisors to the Chief's Council. Of course, his father himself was a chief of Ebri, so he's a royal himself. That's why he's called Ohineba Sechijan. Later, that was the name he was referred to. So after that, he gained a lot of knowledge on Agribusiness history, as well as other cases that come from other communities to the Agribusiness royal house. And he was the one who was the chief scribe. So
Wow.
he got a lot of information. And so from there, he founded the Gold Coast Sunlight magazine from 1938. And then he extended it to become an almanac. So he told all the stories of various Ghanaian ethnic groups. It's a very important document which is used as source book now. That if you want to get original content of the histories of Agribusiness, history of Accra, history of some Ghanaian ethnic groups on the coast, he had it in the Sunlight magazine. A copy can even be found at Institute of African Studies Library.
And he was an anthropologist, journalist, lawyer.
Yeah.
Such a powerful combination.
Yes, and in his writings, he talked about the culture of the people, how the Depo was celebrated, how the Otofo is also celebrated. So he writes about those anthropological cases, to how chieftaincy, the mode of electing chiefs, the mode of installing them, and so on. All are part of the works that he did.
I noticed a lot of these pioneers were either from royal families or children of chiefs. Was that part of the British policy, or was it just because we were wealthy? Because a lot of the people you've referred to in these interviews have either come from a royal family or have some association with it.
Yes, because of the time to go and do certain courses which were quite expensive, you need to, kind of have a lot of money. Other than that, you go to England and you either work and study. There were some people who went there, thanks for the question, there were people who went there, worked, and then studied their law, and it took them 10 years, some 12 years, okay? Some even had mental breakdown, and they had to be sent to asylum. For instance, Kobinaka, for example, became a very successful lawyer, but he was there for almost getting to 12 years because of finances. Finally, the Asante State had to come in to help him to pay his legal education. At one time, he had delirium, and he was rushed to asylum. Yet, when the monies came, he found his sanity, and he became a successful lawyer and one of the well-known nationalists that will become the head of a member of the Muslim Association Party, became a minister, later even representing the Dan Kimati when he was being trial with Jomo Kenyatta. So these were people, in spite of their hardship, they have to struggle and go through. So if you are coming from a royal house, then of course, you get the cocoa money. In those days, most of these hinterland families have a big cocoa farms that they have the transactions of their parents paying for their money. Or on the coast, you see that those who also move from the coast, their fathers were the mercantile class, or a long existing coastal elite families who have had links with the Atlantic and knows how the going on. So you see that people from the coast, they normally were not coming from the cocoa growing areas or rich money, but because of the early colonial contact, they know how to meander their way.
So this Ohineba Sechijan, lawyer, journalist, anthropologist, did he ever do politics?
Yes, he engaged in politics. When he returned from England, he practiced at Ofeyawe's Chambers. He worked at Ofeyawe's Chambers. In fact, one of his classmates was Edward Akufo-Addo,
who
Chief
is the
Justice,
father of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, originally from
Ekropong. And he is from Ebrio. He never said
so they are both Ekwapims.
Both Ekwapims. So when he came, after practicing at Ofe Ajeman, which is Nana Kwade did the second of Ekwapim, well, after working with him for some time, he also went and found his Jan Chambers. Later on, he joined when the UGCC was being founded, he joined it, became a member at Ekwapim, represented them, and then the Legislative Council, what is called the Eastern Province, also elected him as their member to go to the Legislative Council. So he was there until he died suddenly in 1951. When he died, then Edward Akufo-Addo succeeded him to enter into the Legislative Council.
We are still on the Heritage Month on a series, and we're talking people of historical significance. We're in the Eastern region. When we come back, we'll talk about the first Krobo lawyer, Honorable Justice George Lawe Jabano. Stay with us.
Ago.
Sugar, laundry and cleaning service. We take up residential and commercial laundry and cleaning services. So for the laundry, we wash, press, fold, and dry clean, carpet cleaning, power robes, sofas, bags, wedding gowns, suits, jackets, etc. We do general cleaning for households and institutions who are moving in and out of their homes. We are equipped, we are convenient, we are affordable, and we have a state-of-the-art laundry room that takes care of all your needs. Contact us today on 0598 02 4224 as well as 0241 815733. Remember to reach us on our social media platforms at N Sugar Laundry and Cleaning Service on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Google. N Sugar Laundry and Cleaning Services, always at your service.
Ago.
Welcome back. This is our Heritage Month 2025 on a series. We're discussing people of historical significance. We're focused on the Eastern region. We've spoken about His Lordship Justice Julius Sarkodie Addo. Also spent a few minutes talking about Ohiniba Sechijan, a fascinating combination of law, anthropology, and journalism. Let's end with the first Krobo lawyer, also a Boy Scouts commissioner, Honorable Justice George Lawe Atajabano. Who is this person?
Honorable Justice George Lawe Atajabano. His name Atta is Atta.
Atta.
He was born a twins. The sister is Mabel, Elsie Mabel Jabano, who married Chief Justice EMP Sowa. So that is why.
So the Atta is what the British changed to Atta.
Atta. He was born in 1924.
Okay.
In Krobodumase, that's his hometown, Krobodumase. So he's a Dambe.
Correct.
And this man was a very brilliant man of his time. Attended the Presby school at Odumase, and then entered the Presbyterian Boys School, Presec.
Of course.
Then at Odumase.
Correct.
Before it was later coming to Legon.
Correct for 10 points.
That was so from
founded
there,
in 1938.
Yes, founded in 1938. So from there, he moved on to London. Where he went to London, he studied at the University of London. Also very well known in the business sector. There was someone who mixed business with his studies, and then went to the Middle Temple, passed his law, and then returned to the Gold Coast.
Why do you keep talking about these temples? Middle Temple, Inner Temple, what is that?
So in those days, those were the inns of courts. That's what we call. That's where they train the lawyers.
So how many?
So no matter how you go to the law school, if you feel you finish your LLB, you have to come to the inns of court to be trained. And the inns of court, you have the Inner Temple, you have the Middle Temple, you have Lincoln's Inn, you have Grace Inn, King's Inn, and then you have Law Society. So these are the various...
Is it in any order of priority or prestige, or they are just different?
They emerge at certain times in the legal training. And as a result, all of them have their history. I don't want to go far because I've written even on it for my work on the history of the lawyers in Ghana, which, by God willing, by the end of this year,
I see.
So the history of these Inns of Court, which we train, they were the precursors to the law schools that we have. So if you go to US, if you go to Harvard have their own law school. But in England, it started that even when you complete your LLB, you go to the Inns of Court. And they are quite prestigious. It is still in existence today. And when you go to the Inns of Court, afterwards you can even practice from the inns. So in England, all the sessions where the inns are, that is where the lawyers are. The places for the solicitors, the places for the barristers.
So Justice George Lawe Jabano was in the
Middle
Temple.
Yeah.
Born in 24, went to Presec, went to UK to study. At what point did he come back home, and what was his contribution?
So the university was in the Exeter College.
Exeter College.
So when he came down, he practiced shortly. But he was somebody who believed in career work, so he went to the Attorney General's department and worked there for a very long time. So while he was there, he was also involved in the Boy Scout activities. So when the commissioner of the Boy Scouts in the world came to the Gold Coast, he was the one who led him. There's a very nice pictures of him touring with him across the country, all the way from the south to the north. And a wonderful picture having a soiree in the night, and his beautiful wife Marion, who on that occasion was taking a photograph by Jet magazine, and he graced the content where you see him dancing with the wife. So this guy did a very good work, and he became a senior state attorney. And while he was a senior state attorney, he was appointed as a magistrate during the independence, 57. Alongside Daniel Dra from Sekendi. The two of them were put into the magistracy. He went on to move to the High Court. When he went to the High Court, he discharged himself very well, transferred to many High Courts. In Accra, he went to Tamale, and then he was brought back to the Eastern. And then in 66, he also became the casualty of the sacking in the 1966 after the coup. So he was sacked alongside 30 other members of the Supreme Court and the Appeals Court and the High Court. And when he was sacked, he went back to his legal practice and formed his Jabano and Co firm. When he founded his Jabano and Co firm in 67, the regime called him back and gave him commissioner's work to do, the Committee for Inquiry into Awono Chieftaincy Crisis. So he was the one who did that investigation to Awono. So the report bears his name, the Jabana Committee. And you hear Awono elders talking about it because it's a very famous...
So it's a seminal work.
It was a seminal work he did for the committee with Nana Anukwe and others. So that was the work he did. Then after when the Buziak became, Prime Minister, he appointed him as the Eastern Regional Minister.
Okay.
Taking
or
over
they call it Eastern Regional Commissioner.
Around that time, replacing Maxwell Owusu, who was transferred to Ashanti region. When I say Maxwell Owusu, now Professor Maxwell Owusu, who wrote the uses and abuses of political power. So that was Lawe Atajabano. So after the overthrow, he went back to his legal practice and engaged in a lot of social activities as a commissioner of the Boy Scouts, going around training young men and so on until he passed.
Do we know where he practiced? Was he in Accra? Or
he practiced in Accra.
So even though he was born in Odumase, he did a lot of his work in Accra, but then he became the Eastern Regional Commissioner. Under Buzia. And this Boy Scout appointment, was it after he left government?
He had it even before he became the state attorney, principal state attorney.
I see.
At the Attorney General's department.
And he became a High Court judge.
He became a High Court judge.
Obviously suffered from some of the politics of the time.
Yes, so people say that judging from his ruling, even on the bench, has it not been the program, what they call the judicial program of 1966?
He would obviously have become a Supreme Court judge.
He would have even ended up at the Supreme Court because his colleagues that left Ghana, like Akinlano Molade Akiumi, went to Kenya, became the Supreme Court judge, and became the judge of the commercial region, South African markets. Wow. So they did very well. Some went to Botswana, became the chief justices there. So some went to Nigeria, became chief justice in the Western
Which
side.
means that our lawyers were in the Anglophone Africa were quite prominent.
They were.
In terms of their knowledge and the way they were able to work in other jurisdictions.
People that were chased, like someone like Koswanzi, left and became Attorney General in Tanzania.
Serious?
And they said there was an Attorney General in Ghana too. Amazing. So our people, in fact, when they talk about law, Gold Coast is the thing.
So there's a strong tradition of Ghanaian legal excellence.
Excellence.
Which is still celebrated today. Because as we speak, the likes of Fiajo and Co. have done work even in parts of the world where you don't have a lot of Africans.
Yeah, and we have some of our current people who also became justices in the Gambia.
Amazing.
As well as Ghana.
So what would you say Justice Lawe Jabano's contribution has been? What will he be remembered for?
He is remembered in the Boy Scout history, particularly the way he developed the Boy Scouts, make it very popular, because prior to that, the Boy Scout head was Akukosa, who was the Chief Justice. And you know he has become an old man. Having a young man like Lawe Atajabano taking over, invigorated the Boy Scout activism. And Boy Scout activism, as you know, is a colonial legacy from Sir Baden-Powell. So most of the white people were interested, and then the Gold Coasters were interested. So most of their patrons were the colonial elites. So Jabano had opportunity of working with these people and then opening branches across the country.
Well, I was a Boy Scout in primary school, so I'm quite proud of that heritage, although I dropped off by the time I got to class 6. So there you have it. So for the Eastern region, we've discussed some prominent legal minds, which I believe the primus inter pares will obviously be Justice Sarkodie Ado. We're also talking about the anthropologist, journalist, and lawyer Samson Sechi-Jan. And then we've spoken about Justice Lawe, the first Dangbe, or if you want, the first lawyer who's Krobo. We have a few seconds. Tell me a bit about Kweku Duasechi, also from the region.
So Kweku Duasechi, for instance, was the first Ghanaian DPP, Director of Public Prosecution. He's also the third Achim to become a lawyer. So
the first will be J.B. Dankwa?
J.B. Dankwa, followed by Kweku Buaten.
And the third would then be Kweku
Duasechi, who worked for a very long time as one of the famous prosecution, because he worked at the Attorney General office, became a Director of Public Prosecution. He was also later a senior state, before that he was a principal state attorney. And he also contested elections. He was a politician at the same time. So he contested the Achim Ebuakwa South constituency with Aaron Oforiata. Aaron Oforiata was Nkrumah's Attorney General. In fact, as a result of this contestation, one time Aaron Oforiata demoted him as a DPP and made him a principal state attorney.
Because Aaron became Nkrumah's Attorney General.
Attorney General. And he was always contesting Aaron, his boss, at elections at Achim Ebuakwa.
So Aaron demoted him from DPP.
And made his principal state attorney rather than the DPP.
Politics in those days.
In those days. And the DPP was a man who later became Professor Justice A.N.E. Emisa.
Wow.
So that was the contestation around that time. Duasechi was a very effective lawyer because, in fact, on the day of his graduation, J.B. Dankwa went there with the governor and ensured that the guy swears his oath, because it was really something that was to be celebrated, being that Duasechi's father was a linguist in the Ottoman palace. So they were really, really happy that one of the persons who was also of royal birth have become a lawyer, just like J.B. Dankwa. around that time.
Incredible history lesson from the Eastern region, ending another special edition of our Heritage Month on Air series, which has focused for this episode on the Eastern region. We will make time for other regions and watch out for more episodes. My guest, Kweku Dako Ankra, as ever, thank you so much for your insightful presentation. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We'll be with you next time. Bye-bye.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
First impressions matter. Make yours unforgettable with the irresistible scent of Princess Body Mist and Roll-On. Designed for every lady who wants to leave a lasting impression wherever she goes. And for our gentlemen, there is Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Elevate your presence with a confident, masculine fragrance that keeps you dry and fresh all day. Because your fragrance should speak before you do, use Princess Body Mist and Roll-On and Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Your daily essentials for smelling good from dawn till dusk. Princess and Style Up. Smell good and feel great together. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Dear home, no interest for 2 years. Are you ready to step into your dream home? With Lakeside Estates' exclusive offer, you can own your own home in just 2 years with no interest payment. This offers you affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes, and lifestyle change. Choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of Lakeside Hills clusters. Your future awaits you. Imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. As your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition. Call us today on 020-477-5043 or 020-477-5042. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule a tour for our available homes. T&C supplied. Make your dream a reality. Lakeside Estate. Quality homes for all.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
If you want better future, join Ghana Grows, cause our grit be the future. Join Ghana Grows, just be one for the culture. Join Ghana Grows, cause you're humanity for Ghana. Join Ghana Grows, Ghana Grows.
42 after 9, Kweku Dako Ankra, insightful as always, bringing us historical perspectives that we didn't know. That was the Heritage on Air series with Bernardino Koku Avle. Now, though, I have friends from Limehouse. This impactful initiative they're doing together with MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation, trying to put more young people into agriculture, agribusiness, technical and vocational skills. And guess what? We have another amazing young Ghanaian who is into the agriculture, they call it value chain. We'll be hearing more from him. But this voice you know pretty well. He is the team lead for Limehouse Ghana Grows, right? Matthew Ansa was here 2 weeks ago. He was here last week. He's here again, and he's here with some of his amazing friends. Matthew, it's good to see you as always, my friend.
Good to see you, my brother.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
Looking good in your African print.
Thank you so much. You're looking better in your African print.
Yeah.
I really love it. We have to swap after here.
Oh, see. So who did you come with today?
So I came with Zina Amini.
Zina Amini.
Oh, today right. From Skin Gourmet.
Skin Gourmet.
Yeah.
I thought gourmet is food, and food.
Technically, it is.
Okay.
So on one side, gourmet describes a person who just enjoys good food and fine dining foods.
I think I am a gourmet. I am a gourmet.
Gourmet.
You understand with some gourmet and you finish.
I mean, isn't there a little gourmet in at least
Everyone.
everybody?
Yes. So now we are doing the gourmet with our skin.
Exactly.
So you provide a skin gourmet.
Exactly.
Ooh,
So
I
on
love
one
it.
side, as I said, it explains a person who just enjoys good food and gourmet food.
Right.
But at the same time, gourmet also explains or describes very fine quality foods.
Ooh.
And what we do at Skin Gourmet is such fine quality skincare products
Jesus.
that they are also edible.
My God. Oh, they are edible.
Exactly.
The thing you are using for the food, for the skin, is also edible.
Exactly.
Oh, if you give me, I'll eat everything. I'll eat it in my mouth, not on my skin.
Hey,
but must you have someone else here.
So yeah, I came with Enoch also. Enoch is on the Ghana Growth Program.
Right.
He's one of the team members who have been around the country and been interacting with young people, especially young women, who are doing amazing things.
Wow.
So we just had to bring both of them to share the Ghana Growth story. And you see, we are in the Ghana Month, Heritage Month.
Solid.
And it's a perfect time to emphasize the message on agriculture. And I'm very happy that yesterday, during the president's speech, he made it very important. But he said, with over $2 billion spent annually on food imports, we cannot afford to neglect agriculture. We must grow what we eat, process what we produce, and export more than we import. Then he said, farming is no longer a last resort. It's a business that can create wealth and drive national development. It is a time to modernize agriculture and build a Ghana that can feed itself.
Correct.
And he called on young people. That's where
the
my
emphasis
excitement is.
You and Kasa, you be correct guy. So
Thank
you are
you.
leading the charge.
That's
together with your friends at Limehouse, Ghana Grows,
Springboard,
pushing more young people to get into the business.
Exactly.
Great. So I'm excited. Let me talk to Enoch because you say he's been working around the country, especially dealing with the young women in agriculture. Enoch, what have you been seeing? What is the response? What is the challenge? What are the opportunities? How are the young women embracing agri?
Well, we've been across the country trying to engage with young people who are into agric, especially in the agric value chain.
Right.
The most fascinating thing is that majority of people think that you only engage in agric if you are not educated.
Oh.
And this is where Ghana Grows program comes in. We go there, interact with them, let them know what the benefit of agric and the entire agric value chain is. Just trying to explain to them the opportunities that are available for young women, persons with disability. I mean, people between 18 and 35 years. You know,
Right.
these are the ones that we call the youth, the energetic ones. They can work. And we say agric is the backbone of the country, right?
It is.
So if we are to get the youth to engage in agric, that means that we are trying to build the economy that we want. And we go to these places to make sure that these youth understand what agric is and the opportunities in agric. One will say just one cocoa seed can give you a farmer, can give you a fertilizer producer, can give you a driver who, transport the cocoa from the farm to a factory.
And then you can use the cocoa pods to make soaps and other skincare products.
Exactly.
And that's where
which
they come
excites
in.
which excites Zina Amini very much, right? So tell me your story. He is saying that being around the country, a lot of young people think that, going into agric is for people who are not lettered, and then also for very, very old people. That's the other stereotype I get out there. But who are you and why do you do what you do? Zina.
So I'm Zina. Technically, I'm German.
Right.
But now I'm in Ghana, and technically I do consulting work. I
Right.
consult in sustainability, in sustainable projects, which then I guess, also fits very much then with agriculture. And now I'm working with Skin Gourmet. And Skin Gourmet, I think, is one of the most amazing representatives of this, because Skin Gourmet isn't necessarily only creating a skincare product, but they're also doing everything in their power to develop rural communities. They're
Right.
trying everything to empower artisanal jobs like black soap production,
Right.
like shea butter production, or all
Right.
of these things that are now, that Skin Gourmet is trying to make into a trend again.
Right.
And with that, they are, in my opinion at least, fostering so much push of the heritage and of culture that you have over here in Ghana
True.
that is that a beautiful product is the outcome that then is not only necessarily needed over here in Ghana and wanted, but that is very much excited and taken all over the world. People all over the world are getting more and more excited about natural products, shea butter, cocoa butters, palm kernel butters, black soap. All of these things are becoming a trend, not necessarily only because they are unknown to other parts of the world, for example, Germany, where I come from, but also because they're so natural, because they're organic, they're good for your skin, and they've not just been good for your skin now, but since thousands of years.
Now, I see from the look in your eyes and the excitement you're exuding that you really enjoy your work being the PR and sustainability consultant for Skin Gourmet. So what are some of the products you have? What are things you have? How long have you done it? What's the impact? Tell us that story.
Okay, so I personally am rather new with Skin Gourmet. I just started last November.
Ooh, welcome. How are you finding it?
Thank you. I love it.
Sweet.
But then when it comes to the product range, on one side we have multiple different black soaps.
Okay.
Which are obviously not edible, even though they wouldn't be harmful to you.
I like that.
We have a huge assortment of body oils, of body butters, of scrubs, of masks, exfoliants, and all of these are edible because we make sure that they are very organic, that we don't have...
You're saying they are edible?
Exactly.
For the Skin Gourmet or for the Muff Gourmet?
Both. Absolutely both, because we do believe in your skin is your biggest organ, so you shouldn't put on your skin that then the skin
that's
absorbs.
Not edible.
Exactly. Because why would you put something on your skin that then your skin absorbs that you can't also put into your mouth?
Right. I'm excited about the lemongrass
black soap.
Black soap. Tell me about it. Because then, I think sometime last year, a young lady sold me neem oil soap as well. Wow. And it's really, really good. And I've been big on these black soaps as well since, because they are good. But the lemongrass, how does it work?
So we don't just have the lemongrass. We also have baobab, peppermint, tea tree. What? We have a raw coffee
baobab,
and mint.
Peppermint, tea tree.
Yes.
Wow.
We have raw coffee and mint as well, which, for example, is very exfoliating. But then why we are focusing on so many different black soaps is because black soap as a first ingredient is very antibacterial. It's very good for any sorts of sensitive skin.
Right.
Already in the ancient Babylonian times, it was used to cure skin conditions.
Right.
It was used to disinfect wounds and stuff like this. And the product of the process of how to make it is almost the same today.
Right.
Just that in Ghana or in West Africa, it's been adapted. And we use cocoa pot ash instead of just wooden ash.
Right.
And then at Skin Gourmet, we also mix into our liquid
Zina,
ones.
did you come with some of the tea? Where is the tea you are talking about? Where is the tea you are talking about?
I'm so sorry.
Zina.
I'll send some.
I want to see that thing. But you make them here.
Yes, please.
You make them here.
Are made here. There's a fascinating thing, especially where we plug in the young people. She tells us of how they started. So this young woman was outside the country. She came back and found opportunities here and started this.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, there are a lot of young people here who want to go there and go and do very menial jobs.
Exactly. Somebody found opportunities here and decided to take a step. And today she's employed how many people? A lot of people.
Yeah.
She's won over 14 awards, both local and international.
Wow.
And she's come from Germany to intern with them, work with them as a consultant.
Wow.
So you can imagine opportunities that are out there.
Some Ghanaian created a job opportunity here.
Exactly.
It's exporting around. It's good enough someone from Germany comes to work with them with her expertise.
That's the interesting.
So there are opportunities in the agri value chain.
Opportunities in the value chain.
Yeah, and we actually right now we have 27 direct employees at Skin Gourmet, but in total with our value chains, we support over 9,000 jobs in Ghana.
Wow. Because you have outgrowers, for example, with the baobab, the lemongrass, and all of that, right?
Yes.
That's huge. That's huge.
Wow.
So, guys, as we keep... Sorry.
And as I said, Skin Gourmet is also very determined to build farmers over here. So one thing that Skin Gourmet is doing as a project with the Skin Gourmet Foundation is, for example, that we go to farmer cooperatives. Now we have one huge cooperative in the north where we create our Shea butter. It's with 113 women.
130?
Exactly,
Wow.
exactly. And what we do
And
is
if each of them has a family, that's ripple effect.
all of them.
My
all of them.
goodness.
And
My
what we do
goodness.
is that instead of buying organic certificates for us as Skin Gourmet,
Mhm.
is that we get organic certificates for them.
Right. Wow.
Because then they can prove that they produce organically. And they can obviously then, if they sell to other larger companies
Zina,
and stuff
I still
like this.
can't understand. You didn't come with that. So where can we find? I want to go and get the lemongrass one. Where do I get it? Where do we find your products? Where are you? You're producing here. We got that. Are you on the stalls in the big malls or in local shops? Where can we find you if you want to do wholesale, for example?
So if you want to buy directly from us and you want to go into wholesale with us, then you have to come to Achimota in the Selby Gardens. That's where
Okay.
we are located, our
Okay.
headquarters. But
The way
then
she's saying the Selby Garden, say it well because
Achimota.
Achimota. And then where?
Salisbury.
Selby.
Selby. Oh, Selby
It's
Gardens.
It is Selby
Yeah.
Gardens.
Where's the closest landmark or something?
The Achimota Girls' School or the police station.
Okay, that's fine. We'll use Google Maps to get there.
Yes.
And that's great.
So this is
Okay.
our headquarters. But then
Okay.
we also have, for example, at the Naniba Market around the Treehouse restaurant, we have our own location over there.
Right.
We are in multiple Max Marts and multiple Malcolms.
Right.
So we are quite represented all around Accra.
So we should just look for Skin
Gourmet.
and then we
The
got-
phone number and the social media channels.
Yes.
So on Instagram, we're Skin Gourmet GH.
Right.
We have a website, skingourmet.com.
Right.
And I think those are actually Instagram, our website, and then our stores. Those are the easiest ways to contact us.
Right. See, how can we get more people contacting you? There are more young people who want to go into agric, who want to explore. They have ideas, and some even have the knowledge. They've been to school, but they feel they need some technical and financial support. How can such people reach out to you to replicate the Skin Gourmet story?
Okay. Oh, you want to take it? Okay, so you can call our call center, the Ghana Grows call center, 0308 255 775. 0308 255 775. And on our social media platforms, so on IG or Instagram is Springboard Ghana Grows, on Facebook Ghana Grows. You can find us on TikTok also. So just reach out, call the call center, and talk to us.
Nice.
Talk to us. There are
I like
several initiatives, interventions, activities we're undertaking, and you take advantage of
Okay.
that.
Zina, I'll take your last word.
I think what's really important is not just that agriculture offers the opportunity to replicate what Skin Gourmet is doing, but there's so unbelievable much potential into every direction. There are so many native plants over here that are good in pharmaceutical and medical purposes. There's so much that you can do in any sort of food direction with it that's then supporting local and traditional things. So I feel like if you just, as a young person especially, sit down and think about what are maybe traditions that we've almost forgotten over here, what is culture that we just do on very specific days still, or medicine that I only get when I'm with my grandma or
Right.
something like this,
Right.
then you've already found an opportunity.
Wonderful. Let me come to you for your final word. For those who are having doubts about whether or not they should throw their hearts into this agribusiness thing they are talking about on radio, what would you say finally?
Well, from what Zina just said, it's clear that there are a lot of opportunities in the agribusiness or the agri value chain. Even for somebody to come from Germany to just, tap into this potential, tap into this opportunity means that our fellow Ghanaians, our youth, no matter what you do, whether you're educated, whether you're not educated, agric is for all of us.
Yeah, man.
Let's all partake in it and also build our potential and just develop the opportunity.
Maybe so. That'll be the whole story. Enoch J, account manager, Limehouse. You are holding the money. It's good to have you. And then Matthew says the team lead, Limehouse, Ghana Grows. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you. And Zina Amini. Zina, was nice talking to you. She's PR and sustainability consult for Skin Gourmet. So young people, you heard it. Jump into a great. The future is a great. Let's feed ourselves. And talking about feeding ourselves, Fred Tete Jabano. executive producer of the City Breakfast Show. No, this morning you perform. This morning you do all. Fred through the Peace Farms BBQ and Grill. My God, guys, some kinky and some grills they brought. It was powerful. No, Peace Farms BBQ and Grill. They make amazing grills. Whether you're talking pork, chicken, goats, and what else? Just name it, and they got it. I think they're on socials as well. Peace Farms BBQ and Grill. It's almost top of the hour. 0244-644-595 is the contact. This weekend, have a blast at home with the family and everyone else. Just call them. They will take care of you. You can ask Ejubi Rafia Kinti. She will confirm for you. Happy birthday going out to you, Esena. Esena Abubedulansa, today's your 5th birthday. From all of us to you, have a blast, champ, star boy. Enjoy your big day. It's top of the hour. Earlier you heard Bernardino Koku Avle, Godfred Abeku Doom. The richest man was technical. Edwin Kwalkofi was the man on digital. You heard some mess earlier on the Heritage Caravan and Kofi Akpabli as well. Good morning to Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo. Prof, how are you doing? Happy Friday to you. See you another time. At this moment, Ejubi Riafe Akinting is ready with the news at 10. Good morning, Ejubi.
Good morning, Caleb. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Hello and welcome to City News at 10. I am